Check, 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 check. Let me know where you're checking in from. Where you checking in from? While I get set up here. Check, check. Mic check. What's good? What's good? MTM. What's that? MTM. Oh, Mark the Mentor. That's me. 1122. Where you checking in from? Dallas, Texas. All right. Let me know where you checking in from when you come in the room tonight. We're gonna be talking about local versus OTR. I put a poll up. About. Ooh, man, maybe that was about August 5th. What's today's date? August 9th, so 4 days ago. I put a poll up. About 100 people responded to the poll. 72% said local, 28% over the road. So those numbers are kind of astounding. Seeing that, in order for freight to get to where it needs to go to, people need to go cross country. So 78% of the poll that I put up a few days ago said local, 28% said over the road. I expected the poll to I expected it to lean towards local because obviously people want to be home, but I didn't expect for it to be that much of a gap. 78% local, 28% OTR. So Jay Sneed, what's going on? Elite Fleet, what's going on? O's Appliance, what's going on? Mississippi in the building. Obviously, you guys know I'm from Chicago. I swear I do not want to do a 6-hour live tonight, man. I think last Tuesday we went 6 hours and 45 minutes. And I don't know, it just takes about an hour for the stream, I guess, to get in the algorithm for people really start coming in the room. And then like by that hour and a half, second hour, then it gets live, and then it's kind of hard to get off, people calling in and everything like that. So I really want to be out of here. 7:35 my time. I want to be out of here by 10. I don't want to run to 2 in the morning again if I don't have to. Midwest in the building. I got a lot of salsa, amigo. Is that Mexican slang for sauce? As far as me giving out a lot of sauce for the box trucking. Jacksonville, what's going on? Jacksonville in the building. So anybody want to come in, I'm gonna put this link up here and give me their experience or talk about OTR versus local for them, why they choose what they choose. I'm just kind of curious. There goes the link for anybody who want to tap in. You Dominican? I've been to the DR. I've been to the DR once, like back in 2018. As far as anywhere I've traveled south of the border, I think the DR was the best trip. Between DR and Cabo, going to Cancun is like going to Vegas for me, minus the gambling. Like going to Cancun, that's just like going to Vegas. But yeah, DR was probably one of my better trips going south between DR and Cabo San Lucas. All right, let me know where you're checking in from. All right, so OTR versus local. I put a poll up just for the people that came in. I put a poll up 4 days ago, OTR versus local, which do you prefer? The poll results were at roughly about approaching 100 people. 72% local, 28% over the road. So tonight I just want to talk about I like DR. I just want to talk about why so many people nowadays choose local. Obviously OTR. Like someone said in the comments on that poll, you're gonna get a bigger bag. OTR, and I would assume if you were in box trucking or even just trucking period, you would be chasing the bag. but it seems like more people want to stay home. And I know I've been seeing a lot of people complaining about that Amazon Relay load board as far as the prices and things of that nature. I think a lot of people are shooting for those short runs. I know a lot of people that I talk to are shooting for those short runs because they want to be home every night. Joe McCants, what's going on? I had time to you last week. I think we spoke for about 2 hours. Oh no, Joe, it's all good. It was good talking to you, man. You could chime in anytime you want tonight. If you want to come on and talk, man, we can talk. Maybe you can help me answer some questions that people may have for you, or answer questions that people have for you. You got a lot of experience in the moving industry like me, and final mile. So I mean, my platform is for everybody to learn from. I don't mind sharing this platform. I'm not making no money off of this. I'm not even monetized. I just hit my threshold for monetization, and I still got to go through another vetting process, and they said that might take a month. So everything I've done thus far has been free. I haven't made a dime. So my platform is open for anybody that wants to come on and share their experience. So Bashir says, be home plus Amazon, no dispatch fee, no factoring or hotel expenses. Okay. So for everybody that wants to be home, who do you think, if everyone thinks like that, let's say out of everybody that's trucking, everybody, I know everybody, let's say everybody took this poll that's in trucking, whether they're in box trucking or CDL trucking, took this poll and the results came out the same way. And when I say everybody, and the results came out the same way, 72% local, 28% over the road. What do you think would happen to this country as far as the supply chain process if everyone thought like that? And I'm not saying nothing's wrong with that. I mean, it doesn't, to me, I don't feel a way either way. Like I said, everybody that follows me knows that my thing is final mile. So, you know, it's just that poll number was, I expected it to be a little bit closer, but it seems like more people are shooting to stay home. You're 50-50. Can you explain why you're 50-50? Is it sometimes you want to go out and hit the road so you can chase a bigger bag, and then sometimes you want to stay home? I know some people have kids, and I'm gonna keep it funky with you. I know when we get on these lives, we keep it funky. I see an issue with a lot of people with the relationships. I think a lot of people that get into this industry, they worried about their significant other. Now, man, I'm not going to front. Trucking breaks up a lot of happy homes. There's a lot of homes that were happy before one of the partners got into the trucking, and trucking them broke up a happy home. So I know people worry about their spouse cheating on them and wondering what they're doing. Does that play a factor? Let's talk about it. I really want people to share their experiences and why they choose one over the other. And like I say on every live stream, let's not wait till an hour in to get warmed up. It takes about an hour for everybody to get warmed up, and then after that first hour, it's hard to get off of here. All right, Joe, OTR seems good when you have a dedicated account. OTR is best for semi and 26-foot box, great for local. Seems like profit not that great OTR for 26-foot. So you saying OTR is best for semi and 26-foot? Or you said OTR is best for semi and 26-foot box, great for local. Seems like profit not that great OTR with 26 box. I can agree with that. Trucking is a relationship killer. Trucking is definitely a relationship killer. I wanted somebody to hint on it, and I kind of want somebody that has experience. Maybe I can get some truckers, usually some truckers that are watching this, and I want them to kind of come on and explain some of maybe their past experiences. And I can speak from an entrepreneur standpoint. just being an entrepreneur, a dedicated entrepreneur, kills relationships. Within my 13 years of being in trucking as a business owner, I was in 2 relationships, both of them for 4 years. And the first one, when I was building, obviously during the building part of my companies, I spent a lot of time away from the relationship because I was in the building process. And I had to hear those complaints about, oh, I feel like I'm in a relationship by myself. And it's like, man, if you chasing, like, I feel like if you chasing the bag, you're sacrificing time. And if you got time, then you're not chasing the bag. I mean, I you try to find some type of happy medium, but in the same situation with the second one. The second one, I was full into my businesses, my career, and they were really, really successful. At that point, I was at my peak amount of trucks, and that was just taking a lot of my time. My first drivers were coming in at 5 in the morning, so my phone would start ringing at 5 in the morning. Even though I wasn't there, it was like I'm up. And some days my days wouldn't end to 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. So even though I'm running final mile, it still was a time killer, and I was local, and it affected my relationship. So I can only imagine how being an OTR driver, whether male or female, if you have a husband or a wife or a spouse or a partner back at home, how that could affect the relationship with the spouse, and if you have a family as far as kids, how does it affect that as well? Anybody's welcome. Here goes the link. I put the link on. Feel free to come on and talk about it. The platform is open to share your experiences. I can only speak from my standpoint. I can't really speak from an OTR. I kind of want to know what people that do OTR, how they feel about that. Which whoever can consistently make 2K a week. Which whoever can consistently make 2K a week. You saying which partner or which, are you going to do which OTR local? So whichever you can make 2K a week, that's the way you rolling. So you're going to swing either way, Maverick. I get you. OTR perfect for me. No wife, no kids. Is Jay Snee? Is that what you do? You strictly OTR or you fluctuate? If your girl wants to cheat on you, she still would do it in front of you, and you won't even notice. True that. But I hear a lot of people say that when they're away, that gives them the opportunity to do it. And then what the excuse they give, where they were lonely and and we ain't speaking just girls, it's women truckers. They got husbands that's back at the home. So it float both ways. It just ain't, I know it's a male dominated industry, but it's a lot of female truckers in the game now. If you go on TikTok and you just hashtag women truckers, like, man, and like they ain't looking like what you would expect. Like these women is like, man, I'm trying to told you, like, it ain't like what you expect, what you expect a woman trucker to look like back in the day. Like, oh, let me go look at it. Let me go put this in. Like some of these women truckers is like, man, women truck driver, they bad. If y'all on the same path, it could work. True. Be great. I am in strictly OTR, but would love to get on a final mile account. What's holding you back? Be great. What's holding you back from getting on a final mile account? Final mile is it's a little bit different. So if you OTR, you're out there running by yourself. So you switch to final mile, most cases, 95%, you're gonna need one other person on the truck with you to run your route. I used to do OTR, but I've been primarily doing Amazon for the past 3 years. So you're doing Amazon local, right? Amazon Relay, or but Jay Sneed, you got a CDL, right? You got a CDL, right? Or no? Let's see. Maverick, you're responding to Maverick. Which whoever consistently make it 2K a week. Oh, you responded to that question Maverick had. Which whoever, I guess he meant whichever can make consistently 2K a week. So basically, he's saying he'll run OTR or local. He just has a minimum of 2K that he has to hit a week. So whichever lane is going to get him that 2K a week, that's where he's going. So I guess everybody in here is running local except for, I just saw one person running an OTR. Yeah, anybody in here with a CDL? Jason, you ain't got no CDL. Anybody here with a CDL? Any CDL truckers in here? Was one person that said OTR. I'm strictly Be Great. He's strictly OTR. What are you running? Be Great. Who are you running for? You running 26 footer? You running semi? What are you running off the loads? You doing Amazon? Talk to us. Let us know what you got going. Let us know what you got going. Let us know what you got going. We'll put this link up again. Bam. Hey Joe, how is well, you said you're out of the moving business. I was gonna ask you, did the moving pick up for you? But how's business anyway on the final mile? What's your thoughts on buying into FedEx route for semi OTR vans? My thoughts on it, I've thought about it in the past, haven't thought about it recently. I think it's very expensive, you know what I'm saying, to buy one of those routes or one of those I guess when you can't buy one, usually when you buy FedEx, you get a cluster of routes from someone who owns. Usually, the person doesn't own one FedEx route. You know what? Probably not for me. I think if you have the infrastructure, if you have the financial backing, you got the money, and you have the infrastructure to buy that type of account, I think go for it. Me personally, I don't have that type of infrastructure. And when I'm speaking on infrastructure, I'm talking about you have to have a real solid in-house staff for an account like FedEx. Like can't be I don't think it can be any holes anywhere. Like you got to be on it. Like that infrastructure has to be tight. I think if you have the money and you got the infrastructure, I say go for it. I mean, FedEx is one of those accounts where, man, you can't go wrong. You're gonna get money. You don't have to go searching for nothing. You know what it is. 6 days, well now 7 days. FedEx is delivering 7 days. I know they cut back the 7th day in some markets, but for the most part, it's 7 days. There go the link for anybody that want to come on. I'll bring you on. My platform is your platform, is our platform. So feel free to come on. And we're talking box truck and we're talking CDL. We're talking OTR versus local for the people that came in, did a poll 4 days ago, or whatever. OTR versus local. 78% said local. When I say 50-50, I mean final mile for me. I can get burnt out, so I do regional. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can get burnt out definitely being OTR. The last run I did from a few years ago from Portland to back to Chicago, that trip burnt me out. So I can imagine someone who does that daily, day in, day out on a consistent basis. I have a lot of respect. A lot of respect for you. Very much respect. A lot of respect. Rick Rock, you got a CDL and you got a box truck, but not out there yet. So let me ask you this. Do you have a CDL now? Is your box truck a non-CDL box truck, or do you have a CDL box truck? Be Great. 26-foot box using that load boards in Amazon. Okay. And you strictly OTR. What are you looking like, if you don't mind indulging into it with us? Be Great. Since you're strictly OTR, what is your earning potential on an average week to week? Jay Sneed, you said you burnt out. You gotta switch it up. You gotta switch it up. You know, so a wise person told me, you gotta set like a median, like a happy median, to where you're comfortable, to where you're not burning yourself out. I understand when you get your truck, you want to run as much as you can, but like a wise person told me when I was, really, really hustling, really trying to get to the bag, not turning nothing down, chasing every penny. Hey man, you can't make all the money. They're gonna keep printing it and it's gonna keep coming. You can't make it all. You gotta take time for mental health. You gotta take time for your own your health and everything. It's okay to, uh, just take a break if you need to take a break, and then set some type of system up for the week. Some people trying to run 7 days a week. I don't think that's healthy. 7 days a week, I don't think is healthy. I think maybe 5 days. And if you want to push it, maybe 6 days, I feel like you should take a day off to kind of get yourself in order, maybe work out, meditate, get your mind together. I think running 7 days a week will burn anyone out. Elite Fleet, what do you mean when you say work ethic? I thought about getting my CDL Class B to get a straight truck so I can get on the FedEx Customs Critical. I'm gonna tell you what, if you go to school or whatever you go to get your CDLB, you might as well don't stop there. You already 80% there, 75%. You might as well just go all the way. If you're gonna go for a B, you might as well just get the A. I have my CDLA, but I'm a diesel mechanic. What's up with the diesel mechanics, Maverick? Why are they so? Why are the? I know the answer to this, but I've been coming across articles. I actually did a video on it maybe a few weeks ago, and I took it down because no one seemed to really care. But why is there a shortage of diesel mechanics? I know the answer, but coming from one diesel mechanic, since you're a diesel mechanic, I should say, I'm curious to know your professional opinion on why there is a shortage right now of diesel mechanics. You got a CDL box, so yours is over 26,000. So you said you got the CDL and you got a box truck, but you're not out there yet. What's the hold up, Rick? What you waiting on, or you just getting everything together? Yep, reset button. Ain't nothing wrong with a reset button. Every week, gotta reset. Joe, Mark, have you ever tapped in to the semi game? Example, driving semi, having semi run, your authority, dispatching semi, or freight broker. All right, so I talked about this announcement that I was going to make last week, and I guess, man, no sense. I'm going to do a video on it, but that's my next lane. So that's what I'm working on right now. So I'm going to do a video on it that's going to go more into depth on how I'm going to enter or how I'm entering the game. But since I'm live, I could just, I guess, break it kind of right now. I'm getting into it probably as soon as next month, but I'm starting from the bottom. Like, I'm not going to, because I've seen success in Final Mile, Fleet of Trucks, and all that. I'm not going to just jump in like some big Willie. I don't know nothing about a CDL truck. I know certain things about CDL and trucking just from being in the industry and having friends that are CDL drivers, things that they tell me and things of that nature. But do I know how to drive a CDL truck? No. Do I have a CDL? No. So when I say start from the bottom, like I literally have to entering that lane, I'm starting from the bottom. So I'm going to trucking school. Like, if I'm going to be in that game, anything can happen. I could buy 2-3 trucks, put drivers in them, and then somebody could abandon my truck. And then I need to be able to go get that truck. If I need to move a truck or pick a truck up and take it to the mechanic, I need to know how to do that. So I'm right now in the process of going to CDL school. I haven't started yet, but I'm going to document all that on my channel and basically starting that lane. When entering that semi lane, I'm starting at the bottom. So, yep. So yeah, I'm going in that route. Joe, you read my mind. You pulled it out of me. Um, the reason why I'm getting into that lane is because I think I've reached my climax with box trucks. Um, I don't think I can get out of box trucks any more than I've got out of it the past 13 years. So um, I was in box trucking when it wasn't cool, when it wasn't popular. Obviously, it's very popular now with the gig economy and with people wanting to work for themselves. This is something, person that has a little money, doesn't take much money, couple grand, you can jump in. Um, and in doing so, the market is saturated, which isn't I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but from the way I operated, I never operated as me and my truck. 15 trucks, I had X amount of people working for me. So I've always operated from a master contractor perspective. And since people are more independent, free thinkers, and they are shooting for that free enterprise way of work now, with being independent and working for themselves, whether it's doing gig work or box trucking or whatever it is. No one wants to punch anybody's clock anymore. So there comes the issue that we were really running into. I was really running to the past 2 years is employment. You know, this is an easy game to get in. So 10 years ago, 15 trucks, people would just come to work. You wouldn't even think about, your employees wouldn't think about, hey, I can do this myself. But now people are like, man, I can do this myself. I can go get a box truck and go do this and go do that. So I think since I've sucked out of it what I can get out of it, I think it's probably best for me to just, and I'm not saying I'm getting completely out of box trucking. I sold a lot of trucks. I still have some. I'm going to continue to run these trucks that I have, but I think it's just time for me to graduate. I've been thinking about it for years. I was kind of scared, like those big trucks, like those big semi trucks are a different animal. And I kind of held back as long as I could, but in order for me to keep moving forward, I gotta stay ahead of the curve. And it's time for me to just graduate. And I'll get more into it when I do the video later on in a month. But you pulled it out of me, man. You pulled it out of me, Joe. Brokering, dispatchings, I don't think so. Brokering, nah. I'm just gonna just run trucks like I did box trucks, semi trucks. Just getting everything together. Been watching all your videos to maximize my profit. Hey Rick, I appreciate you watching, man. Keep watching. I'm gonna try to provide as much game as I know. And then once I start with the semi truck thing, since Joe done pulled it out, tonight, the channel will start focusing on that too. So I'll focus on both. I think it'll be good. So with people who are thinking about going that lane, I'm just going to document the whole process, even from me taking the test and me, if they let me bring camera in, I'll try to document it. But from me getting the permit to all the class work, the in-class work, the study guides, to me on the out in the field learning the air brakes and all that stuff, to me taking the test with the state, to actually me getting the CDL, and then what I want to do going forward. Like I said, I'm going to start from the bottom. The CDL semi truck is totally different from the box truck. Even once I get my CDL, I'm still probably going to have the mindset of, okay, so now just because I got it, it's I may go work for somebody temporary so I can fuck their trucks up, because technically it takes a while to kind of learn the semi truck. So instead of jumping out the window and buying a truck, and I've only been doing it for 3-4 weeks, maybe I should go see what OTR looks like from the perspective of under somebody else's tutelage and kind of grind their trucks up a little bit till I learn the game, so I know what to expect. So it's a lot of things that are going through my mind on how I'm gonna transition this thing. But the beautiful thing is I got a lot of help. Like I got friends that are truck drivers and that are owner operators and company drivers. So the first thing I'm going to do is go get the CDL. The hard part about that is operating my business while I'm doing that from 7:30 to 3:30 every day, Monday through Friday. But it's just something that needs to happen. Like I got to transition my company. I got to get everything together. I thought you would. That's why I asked. Yeah, I kind of figured you thought I would. Been driving school buses for 10 years. I'm leaving my job to work for myself. So you, Rick, you got a class B, right? Yeah, you only need a class B to drive a school bus, right? My apology, Maverick asked a question. I understood on your comments. I feel that as a given if you know your work ethic. I am preparing my business to do the same thing next year. I've been sitting on some ideas. We definitely need to talk business. Also, Joe, you're talking about getting into the semi lane too. I think it's just, I think when you're operating from a standpoint like how you operate and like how I operate from a master contractor perspective, I just think that the box trucking game now is more of an independent role. Like, you know, that master contractor lane is kind of obsolete. Like, and I know that when you're a master contractor, you got leverage. They don't care about that leverage no more. Like, really don't care about it no more. And in order for me to like I said before, in order for me to get to that next level, man, and Joe, trust you me, I've been trying to avoid it for years. I actually went to the truck driving school in 2017. I was going to expand into semis. I went to the truck driving school. I enrolled. I did everything. My brother was capable of running the business from 7 to 3 Monday through Friday for those 4 weeks while I was gone, as far as getting the drivers off every morning, handling the operations, doing all the routing. And I pulled out then because I know what comes along with semis. It's a lot more, like the maintenance is crazy. Insurance is crazy. I don't think people really understand how dangerous a semi truck is over the road and the liability that comes along with that, and just being in box trucking, we deal with liability, you know what I'm saying? But that semi lane is a totally different lane. And I can be honest, like it really scared me to jump into the semis. But like I said, now like the box trucking thing has evolved, and if I want to continue to go this way, I gotta conquer that fear, and I just gotta step out there on faith and just jump into that lane, man. And that's being completely honest. Long story short, the pay can better and the workload, but mainly the pay. So Maverick, this is a conversation still you and Elite Fleet are still going back and forth, right? Because I'm lost. Yeah, that option you got. Okay, yeah, y'all conversating. How much do brand new Hino 268 cost? Don't know, haven't looked, but I know you can get a used one for about 300,000 miles. That's about 7-8 years old for about 70 to 85,000. So I'm assuming a new one at these new rates, these inflated rates, is over 100. I haven't looked at the pricing of a new truck in probably over 3 years. And that's at the inflated rate. At the normal rate, nowhere near that. 55.95 depending on mileage in the year of the truck. Yeah, but see, Maverick, he's talking about a new one. He's talking about brand spanking new, no owners. No owners. So I would think that would be at least 100 at the prices of these trucks are now. 100 or more. I have my CDL and been just sitting on it. I learned a lot from CDL school about semis. It's great you have a business mindset going into it. Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. It's gonna take a lot of sacrifice. I think that's another reason why I just been kind of holding back, man. You know, I haven't been to school in 19 years. So even though that's a 4-week school, and I understand that's something that I need to do if I'm going to scale the business into semis, I gotta have a like how embarrassing is it to buy a semi or buy 2 semis or have 3 semis or whatever, 1 semi, and you can't even move your own semi. So that's step one. I got to take that sacrifice, and I got to sacrifice those 4 weeks, and um, I got to go get that done. And those the time, the 7 to 3:30, like that time during the day, that's a big sacrifice. So I got to just do it and get it done, and then once I get it, I can pretty much figure out what I'm gonna do from there. By that time, it'll be the winter time, so the moving business will be slow. um Everything else can run on its own. And if I do want to take the time to say, you know what, November, December, January, let me get out here and from a business perspective and learn what it's really like out here, from this perspective in a semi, I'll have that time to do it because it really gets slow around that time period. And then from there, I can, decide on how I want to move forward. um if that's something I want to test, I'll take one of my guys, I'll send him through trucking school, I'll sponsor it, and then we'll put him in a truck, and then we'll test it that way and see how it goes from there. And then if I want to do it again, I'll just keep repeating the process. But I think I want to try to enter into that lane the same way I entered into the box trucking lane. Even though I was a lot younger, I was 29, 30 at the time, and 09, 2010, and I didn't have the knowledge that I have now in trucking. I still entered it from a grassroots perspective. So I can't look at it now that, okay, man, you've been in the game all this time, you don't have to start from the bottom. No, I need to start from the bottom, and mainly is because of that piece of machinery. Like I really want to learn that piece of machinery inside and out. I don't want to ever, like, see. So one thing with me, no one that has ever worked under me can ever say, "Hey, Mark, you don't know what it's like out here. You ain't the one out here." They can say other stuff, but they can never say that, and they have never said that because everyone knows how I started. It was grassroots. So I want to know what it's like out there because I don't want anybody to feed me no bullshit, and I don't want to feel like sorry, man. Mark, it's snow out here. Hey, man, I drove in the snow. I drove in the snow. I know what it's like. The job is the job. So I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna learn it from in the field. I know a lot of people don't like the lease program for summer, but I think you should look into it. Business concept. It's a way to grow a fleet. I was looking into it. I think if I did do that, I would jump in. I just have to study the maintenance on the semi, because see, that's another fear of mine with those semis. Man, a semi truck going into the shop, man, you ain't not looking at nothing less than 5 grand. You know what I'm saying? You ain't looking at nothing less than 5 grand. So that's just the maintenance is what it really putting a box truck in the shop, man, it ain't no big deal, man. But a semi truck, man. And then, like, man, it's a lot of things that you got to think about, man. What if the semi truck break down? What, you got a load on it and the middle of nowhere? And see, I be thinking about all. I think about all. I think about all the bad stuff. That's just the way I am. Yeah, the earning potential is good. I don't worry about the earning potential. I think about all the horror stories, and I think that's what kind of hinders me. But I'm gonna make the leap. It is what it is. Uh, all right, let me see where I left off on. But man, you got your CDL. You said you got yours a year ago, or you said you got it and you're just sitting on it. Yeah, yeah. So that's good, man. You got your CDL. So when do you plan on scaling your business from final mile to semi trucks? Are you kind of hesitant, like how I've been hesitant? Do you have any fears similar to mine? Because like I said, like um the box truck lane, And it's just the semi lane is just a totally different animal from the box truck lane. New subby here. Thanks for your content. Marie Rose, thanks for subbing. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who subs. I appreciate everybody that's spending their time in here tonight. Let me put this link up one more time. The platform is open. This platform is my platform, is your platform, is our platform. We're here to learn from each other. So there's the link. Anybody that wants to come on, share their experiences. The topic of tonight was OTR versus local. I did a poll about 4 days ago, and currently the poll is a little under 100 people took the poll, and 72% chose local and 28% chose over the road. And obviously we know why people want to be home, but somebody's got to go over the road. We know why people want to be home, but man, somebody has to go OTR so that this country and the economy and the supply chain can keep rolling. All right, so I guess we'll move on to other topics since that topic is dried out. I've been seeing a lot of people complaining about these Amazon relay prices, man. A lot of people complaining about people taking these low rates. So you guys that's doing Amazon relay, Jay Sneed, and who else in here do Amazon relay? Let me see. Amazon relay. I know Jay Sneed does it. Who else in here does Amazon relay? What's going on with them rates, man? Why don't people taking them $1.75 rates? What's going on over there, man? I've been seeing a lot of people complaining lately. My biggest fear with a semi is driving in a winter and seeing lots of semi trucks roll over the side. That's one of my biggest fears too. I was talking to somebody about that the other day. I actually saw and this is what I wasn't driving. I was driving a personal vehicle. I was headed to Pennsylvania one December, maybe this had to be like 07. I was behind a semi like 4 a.m, and I just watched. I don't know if this dude fell asleep or what happened. He just veered off the road. He just slowly veered into a ditch, and every truck that was on the highway around him, it's like truckers got like this cold, man. Like every truck just stopped wherever they were at, whatever lane, they just stopped, and I kept going. But yeah, I watched them veer off. I've heard stories about semi trucks rolled over. I got buddies that drive trucks that haven't rolled over, but they got stuck in the snow, which is why I am paying to go to CDL school. I mean, I'm paying anyway, but you can go to a CDL. You can get a sponsorship from one of these companies, but you got to commit to them. I can't commit to them. But for anybody who is looking forward to going to CDL school, if you pay for it, or if you look at the video that I put up and you qualify for the WIA and you can get sponsorship, I think that's the best way to go. One, because you're not contracted with a sponsor company that pay for you to go to trucking school, whether you went to their school or they sponsor you to go to another school. Yeah, you can break that contract, but they're going to just put it on your credit and you're going to have to pay them. But two, you have the freedom to go where you want to go, when you want to go. You can bounce around. So if you want to just do local in the winter, you can go do local. You could drive a dump truck. You don't have to be over the road. Having a Class A CDL opens you up to a plethora of different things. Man, I heard people taking $1.75 rates, $1.80, $2. People complaining, saying, man, wait. I watched 3 or 4 videos in the past few days where people are just telling people, man, wait, just let the rates rise up. Stop taking these loads. Y'all making it bad for everybody. Stop taking these cheap rates. So, and all these videos were put up by different people within the past week. So apparently something's going on over there with Amazon Relay as far as people taking these cheap rates. Why are they taking these cheap rates? I got an idea why they're doing it. But what do you guys think? Yes, definitely have the same worries trying to get this final mile business structure properly first. My goal date was April 2023. Yeah, see, I want to be kind of up and running by April 2023. I'm really want to take 6 months to a year to kind of learn that lane of the business. I think a year is fair before I really jump out into that lane. I don't want to jump out there because here's the thing: a lot of people that jumped into the semi game, as far as like an owner operator standpoint, a lot of those people took the hit. So when we look at these numbers, like on Freightways, where they talk about how 9,000 truckers went out of business just in this past May alone, a lot of those were box trucks, but majority of those were semi truck owner operators. So, there's nothing wrong. And I understand that everybody wants to be their own boss, but sometimes it's better to learn the game from, sometimes it's best to learn the game with someone else's equipment, I should speak, especially that type of equipment. And that's what I plan to do. I plan to learn everything I need to know, because how can I teach it to somebody from a owner standpoint if I don't know it? I think there is a trade-off between total take-home pay and hourly rate of pay. The more hours you work, the more take-home pay, but the less hourly rate can be. I think you're absolutely right. I think that's with anything. You can take a high-paying load today, but if you don't work the next 2-3 days, did you really come out ahead? Yeah, that's my plan, to start in January or March with my CDL, but I'm still debating on 26 footer semi. Now, when you say debating on, I'm assuming buying a 26 footer or semi truck, right? If that's the debate, if I were you and you want to do, and since you are not undecisive, you don't know what you want to do, I would definitely rent the 26 footer if you decide to go that route. And if you decide to go the other route, I would really look into being a company driver as far as CDL, at least for 6 months to a year. I don't know how long you've had your CDL, or if you've done it or you just got your CDL, but definitely if you just got it, I think you should maybe try the company thing for a little while, just so you can see how it works. So that way, if you do jump out the window and buy your semi truck, you kind of have some experience and some know-how, and you know what to expect. Tremaine, what's going on, man? How you feeling tonight? Blessings. Am I trying to go local or OTR? That's a good question. I thought about it. Obviously, I probably would go, I guess, OTR. In order for me to stay local, I would have to get some contracts. So if I could secure some local contracts, then I definitely would want to stay local. I've always been a guy, that video I put up earlier, somebody commented on it and said something about the money, the earning potential, and I look at things like this. I think a lot of people that are in the box trucking game now, they got sold this dream by a lot of these fake gurus about the earning potential, right? And everybody wants to make this big dollar amount. But what a lot of people don't understand coming in the game is the margin in trucking, period. I don't care what lane you're in, the margin is very, 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 very small. Very small. All right. So I've always been content with, making just a little bit of money. Not making, when I say a little bit of money, not like I'm barely making it, but when you're operating in a fleet status or a fleet standpoint, I set a number, and it may not seem like a lot to somebody, but when I times that times X amount of trucks, I'm coming out ahead. I don't try to make all the money. I don't try to get over. I said a number that I'm comfortable with, and I know that it's going to take care of everything, the payroll, the bills, it's going to take care of me, right? The business and my personal well-being because I pay myself, right? And then I'm content with it. So if I can find a local route, obviously I know it would pay a lot less than running over the road. But if I can find a local route that pays good to take care of everything and the company can make a little bit of money, then I'm okay. I have seen 70 cents per mile advertised on the back of Napa auto parts semi trucks. I saw someone advertising more than that on a truck. I actually took a picture of it. I'm gonna actually go on my phone at some point and I'll post it. Thinking about a master plan, yeah, man, a master plan. I'm always thinking of a master plan. I think too much. That's the problem. That's my goal, to secure government contracts. So I know I did a video on the government contract with the MBE, and that was kind of like a mosh up video between the MBE and letting people know that if you are a minority and you get the MBE, it opens you up to government contract, and that's the easy way to get in. But I'm gonna have to do another video and kind of expound on it because I get a lot of questions about that video. That's one of my more I think between now and this Amazon video are my most two viewed videos. I get a lot of questions, a lot of DMs about that video, and I don't think people and I'm not speaking directly to you, Marie. Since you brought it up, the thought came across my mind. I don't think people understand the full scope of what having a government contract is, and what actually it's when you get a government contract, like it requires a lot. It requires a lot. So I think I need to do a video kind of going further into detail of like, look, okay, you get the MBE and you apply for these government contracts, but just because you got the MBE, the governments that are looking to fulfill contract roles, they require a lot. And one of the things is, if you get a government contract, let's do this. Let's do a little role play, for example. Let's say you got an MBA. And I'm gonna use somebody for an example. This is actually a person who kind of mentored me, not on like this is somebody that I was introduced to that has a city contract for school buses. So this is a lady from here. This is true stories of Black woman. And she was the one who told me about years ago about the minority business and the government contract. She is I'm like, how do you have so many school buses? She owns a school bus company. And I was introduced to her through my commercial landlord. And she actually hired us to do a move because he referred us. And I was talking like, man, like you got like the city contract for, and I live in Chicago, so to have a city school bus contract, it's a big deal. I'm like, how do you have so many school buses? She said, well, I got a minority business, and I got the contract because I got a minority business, and being a woman, which is one, and two, an African American, opens me up to a plethora of things. Now, I say that to say this: when you get a city contract for like school buses, you can't have one bus. So this is the thing that I get asked a lot, man. I'm finna get my truck. Man, how do I get this MBE so I can get me a government contract? Most government contract, you're gonna have a fleet. This lady has hundreds of buses. So if like the city of Chicago, the city of New York, the city of Los Angeles reaches out to you, you win a contract at all these public schools, you think they're gonna want just one bus? No. This school might require 10 buses. This school might require 20. This school might require 5. This school might require 20. This school might require 10. You have to have a lot of buses. Same thing for the trucking. Let's stay away from box trucking. Let's talk about construction. Live in a big city. All right, you live in California. What's the highway out there? 405. All right, we want you to repave the 405 for 10 miles from here to here. It's going to take an infrastructure of equipment and everything to do that, not just one truck. Same thing with trucking. All right, I spoke on the lottery contract that required a fleet of vans. So, these government contracts, they're good to have, but you have to have a major infrastructure intact in order to receive one. That is one of the requirements. If you stay local, look into the food service side. It would be like running final mile with semis, right? But you got to have reefers for that, right? You got to have a reefer trailer. That's like reefer, right? Food service. Best place to buy box truck. What market are you in? I can tell you, I can't tell you locally because I'm in Chicago. So if you're in Chicago, I could tell you here. If you're looking for like a national place, I could tell you that too. So my neighbor has a pre-emission Volvo semi that he's willing to let me start off with. I'm thinking about running containers with it since I live like 15 minutes away from the port. That Volvo is manual, right? They don't make those Volvos in automatic, right? Maverick. I'm in the process of doing mine through Los Angeles. I just realized my birth certificate doesn't have my race on it. Any ideas how to get around that? Nope. I don't think it's a way to get around it. They're very strict when you're applying for the minority business enterprise. They look at everything in detail. They really want to ensure that you are a minority. And I'm telling you, when I say they dig deep, I wasn't exaggerating. They dig deep. So yes, anything that has anything to do with your lineage or anything of that nature. So if your birth certificate doesn't have your race on it, I think you might. I haven't looked at my birth certificate in years. Does your birth certificate have your race on it? I'm not sure, but if it's something that does have your race and yours doesn't have it, I would go to is that the Office of Records and Deeds? I know that's what it is here in Chicago. I would go to whatever your Office of Records and Deeds is for whatever town you were born in, the city you were born in, and I would look into that. Government contracts is also my goals with my business. I think that's probably everyone's goal. If you got the infrastructure and you got the equipment to handle it. Another thing I didn't talk about government contracts, the payout. You get a government contract, you're not getting paid every week. You're not getting paid every 2 weeks. You're not getting paid every month. Government contracts are some of the worst paying contracts. They pay like 4 times a year. They pay every quarter, like a net 90. All right. So you got to wait 90 days, right? And then you usually get paid 30 days after that. So let's say you start January 1st, you run January 1st through March 30th, right? That ends your net 90, right? Boom. You probably wouldn't see that check if everything is on the up and up, and whatever government municipality or contract you're running, if their accounting is Trump tight, you run January 1st through March 30th, that's your 90 days. All right, so then if everything is Trump tight, you probably wouldn't see that check until around the end of April, beginning of May. So then at the end of your 90, it takes about 30 days to process it. So now you're running a government contract 5-6 days a week. That means you got to pay people, you got to pay for fuel, you got to pay all your costs. So you have to have enough money to float it. I guess you could factor or however you want to do it, but those government contracts, as far as the turnaround time for paying, you're dealing with the city, you're dealing with the state, you're dealing with the government. They cut $1 million checks. They're not going to cut you no check every week. You got to wait. I had a contract for a company that had a government contract. And yes, it's a lot of work to keep them happy. Also, sometimes the pay is not always worth it on the profit side. Sometimes it's not, but you're looking at the volume and the steady work. And you get to add that, to your portfolio. It's something good to have on your portfolio, because if you can secure a city contract or a state contract or government contract, it lets potential clients know that you're a solid company, that, a government municipality decide to do work with you. Pittsburgh, PA in the building. All right, so you asked me about the truck, right? So if you're looking to buy a 26-foot box truck, I would go on like Commercial Truck Trader. I don't know about any local truck places out there to kind of refer you to. So you kind of want to start like on Commercial Truck Trader. You want to go to Enterprise Used Trucks, and PenskeUsedTruckSales.com. Commercial Truck Trader. If you want to look for something on the low though, you want to look on OfferUp, maybe Facebook Marketplace, but make sure you take your mechanic with you. Those are the two options on the low. The other three options I gave you are more on the higher end. Yep, that's. Or you can look at the auction. There's an auction tomorrow. I may stream that auction like I did last week. I may not. Depends on if I'm around or free at that time tomorrow. I'll stream it. And I got a video about the auction. You can go check that out. It'll let you know the name of the auction and how to get set up. So I got a video out there for you. Oh, and I put up a video the other day about I got a few videos for rental, and then I also got Coop, which is a rider startup. That's like their truck sharing platform that Ryder created. So there's companies and there's individuals on there that have trucks that are idle that they're not using. You can go to coop.com, and those trucks that are on there are available because those are individual trucks. So if it's on the website, then it's available to rent at that time. So that's another alternative. And those rates are a lot cheaper than budget, a lot cheaper than enterprise. And if you rent on a weekly basis, some of those renters will give you 15% off. You rent on a monthly basis, you'll get 20% off, and the daily rate ranges somewhere between $100 and $140. So if you rent long term, you're looking at under $100 when you get that weekly and monthly rate. So I would go check that out for everybody that's looking for a truck, that's waiting to get a truck on a waiting list. Check out coop.com. I did a video on it probably like 4 days ago. And that's free sauce. I'm not sponsored by Ryder. I'm not sponsored by Coop. I'm not sponsored by nobody. So basically all the information I give out, if I come across something I feel like people can use, I take the time, I shoot the video, and this is just my way of keeping people in the know, giving back. And this was for my moving business for Section 8 homes. Hold on. I had a contract for a company. I had a government contract, and yes, it's a lot of work. Okay, so I'm going to keep it funky with you. Section 8, I don't even deal with it for my moving company. I don't deal with cleanouts. I don't deal with evictions. I don't deal with none of that. It took me years ago to do one, and I said never again. If we find out it's an eviction, if you let us know ahead of time, I'm turning it down. If my guys get there and they say, "Hey, Mark, this is an eviction," I say, y'all didn't put nothing on the truck, did y'all? Nah, we didn't put no. We just letting you know. All right, let me call the customer and tell them we don't do evictions. I don't do evictions. They get messy, man. The boyfriend, the girlfriend get to fighting and all. Man, I could tell a story. I'm gonna start doing videos. I might do a video a week of like box truck stories or some shit. I got a lot of stories, man. A lot of stories I could tell in this box truck game as long as I've been in it. It used to, but at some point they stopped adding it. Well, here's the question: when did they stop adding it? And did they stop adding it after you were born or before you were born? That's the $1 million question. Maverick, 13-speed Cummins. You got the Volvo, yep. So that's manual. Yep. Ryder tried to charge me 33% down. 33%. Oh, you tried to buy a truck from Ryder? I wouldn't buy a truck from Ryder. If you're gonna buy a truck from a commercial truck rental establishment, Penske and Enterprise is your way to go. Penske over Enterprise. Ryder is expensive with anything you do. Renting, leasing, buying, whatever. Ryder is the most expensive. You see independent owner operators and box trucking renting from Ryder now because they really don't have a choice. If they can't get nothing with Budget, Enterprise, and Penske, and Ryder got something, I know people. It was people on this live stream last week paying upwards of, I've heard $1,000, $1,800 a week hold, $1,200, $1,000 a week hold. So people are messing with Ryder now because if that's the only thing they got and they really want to get in the game, and that's what they jumping in with. But Ryder is like the last option. If you're gonna do with Ryder, you need to use Coop and go in there and do the truck sharing thing and rent somebody else's truck whose truck is down and go about it that way. You'll save a lot more money. Yes, it's reefers. You can work for a food service company like U.S. Food or McLean. Yeah, McLean is local too. Yeah, I might look into that. The thing with the reefers is you got to train your guys really well, because if they don't set those temperatures, you ruin their whole load. They'll charge you for it. I could tell a story, something about that. I haven't did, but I know somebody that forgot to set the temperature on their reefer. And it was like a load of shrimp. Didn't set the temperature on the reefer. I was on a net 45 with my contract. Yes, steady work during winter. Yep, net 45 for government contracts. They do not pay. They do not pay like that. But net 45 is good. I know most of them are like net 90. They pay once a quarter. And so they pay you 4 checks a year, once every quarter. That's how they bill it out. So, you got to have a lot of money to float those contracts. A lot of money. Sharon, no problem. Anytime. If you got any other questions, let me know. All right, I'm going to put this link back up. If anybody want to join in on the conversation, let me know where you're at. If you're out on the road, man, check in with us. There go the link up there. For anybody who want to tap in, I'll bring you on I guess this ain't a podcast, but it's like a live stream. I'll bring you on. We could chit chat. Maybe you got some knowledge you can instill. A lot of people that's trying to get into the box truck game. Marie, no problem. Thank you for tuning in. I wouldn't buy a truck from Ryder, Sharon. I wouldn't. Go look at Penske. Go look at Enterprise. Go look at commercial truck trade. But here's the thing: if you go on one of those platforms and you see something, you can't procrastinate around. If you see something, you need to get on the phone. You need to call. You need to see if it's available. If it's out of market, you need to be booking a flight. And that's no cap. If you find a truck for a good rate, you need to be putting your shoes on and on your way to the airport, because that's how quick it's going to go. I streamed the auction last week. It's so bad for trucks right now. We watched people buy box trucks that had holes in the engines that weren't drivable for $20,000 and $30,000. That's how bad it is. They like, skip it. We got the truck. We'll just drop a new engine. We'll pay X amount of dollars to get the truck towed across country, and we'll still come out cheaper than going and buying a used truck at $85,000. I watched the auction last week. Someone bought a 26-foot box truck that had a hole in the engine. The engine was shot for $31,000. So if that doesn't let you know how rough the market is for box trucks, it's rough out here, man. It's rough out here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm posting this on let me post this on Instagram real quick. Let people know I'm live. But there's a link. I'll bring you on camera if you want to join the live. If you want to join the live, 1 second. Let me post this. All right, next question. Definitely need to hear them stories, my guy. Box truck stories. Yeah, I'm gonna probably do it once a week to tell some stories. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Obviously, the bad and the ugly will get the most views. So I'm gonna tell some bad and some ugly box truck stories. Yeah, I would have told him hell no too. Like, I ain't never did business with Ryder. Every time I thought about doing business with Ryder, they knew what to say or do to drive me away from them, and that's just no cap. Like, they too high. They not even. Nah. Stay away from them. I mean, do what you got to do. Don't let me tell you what to do. But just from my experience, like, as far as price point, they're gonna always be the highest. So, give me 1 second here. Let me post this on Instagram. There. All right, next question. I'm going to the dealer. What dealer you going to? You going to a truck dealer? You going to buy a brand new 26-foot box truck? Coop won't allow you to rent off their platform if you don't have a Dun and Bradstreet score. Oh, wow. All right, well, there goes some new information. If you don't have a Dun and Bradstreet score, Coop won't let you rent off of their platform. There go the link for anybody that want to tap in on screen. There go the link to join in. I seen a Ford Transit 250 high roof with 113,000 miles for 35,000. Hell no. I bought my first cargo van in 2015, and I was looking at the Ford. This is when the Transits first came out. The Ford, the high roof, a brand new 3,500 high roof, 33,000 with no miles. 3,500 with the dual wheelbase. This is what they call it, brand new now. 3,500. Ain't no way in hell I'm paying 35,000 for no van with 119. Here's one thing about the vans though. They always hold their value. So even I was looking at between that and a Chevy Express. I ended up getting the Chevy Express because I had a relationship with the dealership. Bought like my car, like I bought a Camaro. I had just bought a Camaro from there. I had bought a brand new 2014 3,500 box truck, a 16-footer from there, and I bought that truck for 30,000 brand new, 16-footer. I was looking at used vans and they were like 20,000, 22, 23 with like 100,000 miles, but a brand new van, a 2,500 extended lift was 28,000. So there's no way I'm spending 35,000 on a van with 113,000 miles. It don't even cost 35,000. A 250 don't even cost 35,000 brand new. I was looking at 3,500 for 33. And this is basic. We ain't talking about bells and whistles. As long as the thing got AC and heat, that's all I care about. It ain't got to have all that extra stuff. It's a work truck. I'm not trying to make people convenient. It got an aux cord so they can plug into their phone. That's it. I buy standard vehicles. Standard. When I was buying, I haven't bought trucks. I bought a bunch of trucks in 2013, 2014. I haven't had to buy any trucks since then. They approved me for 70,000. Okay. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Sharon. If you can not pay 70,000 for a 26-footer, I wouldn't suggest you pay 70,000. I think if you're gonna get a used 26-footer, you should be looking in the range of and this is honestly, I know it's a little tough right now to find this, but this is what these trucks normally would cost. A 26-footer normally used about 250,000 miles, 6, 7, 8 years old, usually ranges somewhere between 25, 35,000. Now, this is on Penske and Enterprise. Obviously, the rates are a little higher now because of inflation. But if you can find something on the high end, I would be looking around $50,000. Me, I wouldn't spend 70,000. You know it's going to be high. And depending on what you're looking to do, what lane you're looking to get in, that is going to be very detrimental to your margins. And I'm just being honest with you. You know, a note on 70,000. I've never paid a lot of my trucks I bought cash, but the ones I did have notes on, the highest I paid on a truck note was $666. Like getting into the thousands of dollars a month. I've talked to some people, they got $1,800 notes, $1,700 notes, $2,200 notes, you know, and I have to explain to them why, when they ask me why they're not making no money, what they doing wrong. And when I ask them a series of questions, this is one of the reasons. Their overhead is too high. Margins in trucking are very, 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 very small. Forget what the gurus tell you, the fake gurus. I'm going to tell you the truth. Margins are very small in trucking, very small. You may have a good week, but guess what? Something's going to happen. It's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. And it could set you back. Gas could go up. You could have a major breakdown. Anything can happen. You don't want to be spending $1,800-$1,900 on a truck note. I'm telling you. I would go use box truck if you're asking me. It's hard to find them new at the dealer. I wouldn't buy a new truck. If you just get into the box truck game, I definitely wouldn't be buying no new truck. That's just my honest opinion. I wouldn't be buying no new truck. I would try to start off used. If you need to start rental, me personally, I say you should rent a truck, get your feet wet, really get a feel for the business, make sure this is what you really want to do. A lot of people in their mind, they think this is what they want to do and they say, well, they're going to make it work. But when they get into it, so maybe you should rent a truck. This is just my advice. I'm not telling you what to do. Maybe rent a truck for a little while. But if you do want to jump out and buy a truck, I would definitely buy a used truck. California's emissions law requires trucks to have an engine that's 2012 or newer. And because of that, people sell their trucks on Facebook Marketplace. That's always been a good place. Now, let me ask you this. I have a friend that's out in California that wants to get in a truck. And she told me it was 2016 or newer. She said you got to have a 2016 or newer. So is it 2012 or 2016? You said you'll wait for a new one. Okay. Okay. What about tandem axle 26-footer? What about it? I'm starting with a non-CDL 26-foot rental, but I want to buy a tandem axle class B. Do you have a CDL? Stanley, do you have a CDL? You said, wait, hold on. You said I'm starting with a non-CDL 26-foot rental, okay, but I want to buy a tandem axle class B. So yeah, my question is, do you have a CDL? You told him no to that? You told him no to all the transit. Sharon, what are you trying to do? You want to come on camera and talk about it? Let me put the link up again. Let's come on camera, Sharon. We can have a conversation. I want to know what it is you trying to do, because you said a Ford 250 high roof and you talking about a box truck. So which lane you trying to get into? Because that's a big difference. A cargo van and a 26-foot box truck that's a big difference on a lot of things. Earning potential, what you can and cannot do. There go the link. Why don't you come on camera and tell me what you're trying to do? I work for FedEx. I'll wait for the right price. 10-4. Definitely wait for the right price. No matter what you buy, new, used, truck, van. I would definitely wait. If you're gonna buy, I would definitely hold out. It's 2012, but the year moves up each year. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was 2016. I'm getting it. You getting what? I'm starting with a non-CDL rental, but want to buy 10. No, I know you're getting it. I'm asking you, do you have a CDL or not? I'm asking, what do you think about the market for 26-foot bus? The market as far as what? Buying, selling, working? Let me know what you're talking about. What's your take on electric box trucks? I have no take on them as far as uh, knowledge base. What do I think is going to happen in the future? I think they're going to start selling them. People are going to start buying them, and that's pretty much it. Would I buy one if I was on the market to buy one now? Would I buy one? Probably not. Probably not, because um I'm not really a big fan of the electric vehicles yet. Not a big fan of the electric vehicles yet. So um but I think eventually they're gonna stake a place in this game. Are you looking to buy one, James? Electric box truck? Hold on 1 second. Let me put this on Instagram. I thought I put it up here. Oh. Stanley, if you're gonna work the truck, whether you get a tandem axle or not, I think it's worth the money if that's what you want to buy, and you're gonna do what it takes to make that truck pay for itself. As long as you got a plan to make that truck pay for itself, whatever your personal preference is, that's your personal preference. Me, I get the basic, most standard, whatever I can find. When I go look for trucks, I get what's cheapest on the lot. I take my mechanic and I try to find the cheapest thing on the lot. And as long as it runs and it's gonna make me some money, then um, that's what I shoot for. I don't really like to give people advice on like things that I consider like to be personal preference. But I mean, a tandem axle, you're looking at most 26-foot box trucks, don't they? Most 20-foot. Now, I'm not a mechanic, but I'm thinking most 26-foot box trucks are tandem axle, right? Corey, 100. It ranges like $60 to 150. $60 is the cheapest, but this the link for it though. Let me put it up here. Same thing like when Sharon was talking about the box truck. Hold on 1 second, Stanley. Let me put this link up real quick. If you're running a 26-foot and you're running a tandem axle, that's a CDL truck, and you got a CDL and you can carry more weight, I say go for it because you're gonna make more money. So the difference between a non-CDL and a CDL is you can carry more weight, which obviously makes your earning potential better. So whatever is going to bring you more money, the tandem axle is going to bring you more money because you can hold more weight. Then I say go for that as long as you got the CDL, which is the endorsement you need to carry that weight. I say go for it. I think over time, if what you're asking me, I think over time because you can make more money with your truck. So yes, it's going to pay off over time. I think yes, it's going to definitely pay off over time. Roy, there's the link. And then you just go to store, and then it'll have like 2 or 3 courses, but then under that, it'll have like the coaching packages. They range from like 15 to 150. So like 15, 30 minutes, an hour. And then I have a subscription package and a bundle pack. Corey, what's going on, man? What price range do you usually shop for your trucks? Don't want to overspend. Hey, DeMarco, I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't bought a truck in years, but if I was shopping right now, I don't want to tell you the prices I pay for my trucks. People would feel bad. But if I was shopping for a truck right now, I wouldn't spend no more than 50 for a 26 footer, and that's high for me. And then and that's for a used truck. And then for a 16 footer, I wouldn't spend no more than on a used truck. And 20 is high, man. But I guess if I was really in the market now, I would have to buy what the market has to offer at the prices the market. But my best thing would be a 20 grand for a 16 footer. I'm gonna be honest with you. My 16 footers, my used ones, I bought my first used 16 footer I bought had 180,000 miles. I paid 7,900 for it. I still got it. Bought that truck in 2012, 2013. All my 16 footers that I bought used range from 7,900 to 8,900. My new 16 footers I bought for 30,000. 26 footers, 15,000 to $25,000. And this is all no older than 8 years old, no more than 250,000 miles, 250,000 miles. But this is what the trucks costed. This is what the trucks costed. The pandemic ruined a lot of things. It just people just started gouging the prices. If you can, it's a website where you can, I don't know if it'll work. It's like a Wayback Generator or something. It's a website. You can go look at websites from like past years. And if I need to find out what that website is. You can go look at PenskeUsedTrucks.com in 2019, 2020, even 2020, like during the beginning part of the pandemic. But look at 2019, 2018, early part of 2020, and look at the rates of the 26 footer on Penske used truck sales and Enterprise used truck sales. You're going to see $25,000, $30,000. So I know why the rates are high now, but it's still ridiculous, man. A used truck costs more than a new truck. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I think I answered that one already. There go the link for Roy. There go the link for the mentorship. DeMarco, what price range? Yeah, so I gave the price range. I would pay no more than 50,000 if you look for a 26 footer, and that's on the high end. If you find something around the 40, 35 mark, which is going to be hard, that's where I would start. I wouldn't go no more than 50, but that's me personally. Roy, DeMarco, all right, bet. There it is, Wayback Machine. Thank you, Music Fanatic 93. That's what it's called, Wayback Machine. So if you go to Wayback Machine, I don't know if it'll work with these websites, but waybackmachine.com, you can go look at a website from previous years. So I would go look at these websites. That way you can get an idea of what these trucks really cost. So when you do go on the market to buy a truck, you got an idea of what you're spending, right? All right, versus what you should be spending. And then you can kind of plan how you want to do it. But it's like I tell people, listen, these gurus, these fake gurus, they're going to tell you this high number. They're going to tell you all the good. They're not going to tell you the bad. I'm telling you the truth. Margins in trucking are very small. I don't care what lane you're in. Final mile, middle mile, 26-foot box truck, semi truck, van. It doesn't matter. The industry is the industry. The margins are small. It's just like the restaurant industry. The margins are very small in that industry. All right. Some industries just have smaller margins. This is one of them. All right. So you have to, when you're entering this game, you have to do whatever you need to do to increase your margins. All right. So just a bit of advice. Or archive.org. That's a new one. I went up on archive.org. I'm up on the Wayback Machine though. Yep. So yeah, go to Wayback Machine. You should be able to go to Enterprise used truck sales, Penske used truck sales, put the year in, then just search the website from 3 years ago. Shit, even maybe maybe earlier part of 2021. Earlier part of 2021, 2020. I mean, these trucks don't cost that much. You figure what I'm saying? It's just a box built on a chassis. A wood box, aluminum box built on a chassis. That's it. $60,000 truck, $70,000 truck, brand new. Yeah, I wouldn't buy no truck over 10 years. I usually, when I was buying them, I would buy them anywhere 6 to 8 years old. If I buy used, 6 to 8 years old, on a used truck. That way you kind of, and I buy fleet maintained, fleet owned. So Let me put this link up. All right, so let me see. All right, what we talk about? We talked about the OTR. Let me put this link up. But then nobody answered that question with the Amazon relay though. What's up with the rates over there? Why is everybody complaining about those Amazon relay rates, and why are people taking those rates so cheap? Why people over there on Amazon relay can't hold out for higher rates? What's going on? What's going on over there on Amazon relay? A lot of people have been complaining. Matter of fact, let's see if we can go on the Wayback Machine. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick. I'm just curious now. You got me wanting to know. I know what the rates are, but I just want to look at it. Waybackmachine.com. Let's go take a look. Share my screen real quick, just to see if it worked. All right, waybackmachine.com. Let's see. We're going to try see if we can go look at rates on Penske used trucks and Enterprise used trucks from 2020, 2021. Because they booking when it first hits the board. Yeah, I understand why they doing it though. Like why they so thirsty? Why are they so thirsty to book? Why are the Amazon relay people, are those, well, clearly those ain't seasoned people. But what do you think, NP? Why you think they so thirsty to book? I wouldn't buy a box truck over 10 years old. Not me personally. I wouldn't. But if you got a mechanic and you take a mechanic with you, let's say you in a situation like now where rental companies don't have nothing, you really want to get into the game, and you go to a lot and you take a good mechanic with you and say, hey man, this truck 10 years old, 11 years old, but this is a strong truck. I'm telling you, you're gonna win with this truck. Might take a chance. I mean, it all depends. Me personally, no, but depends on how bad you want it and what type of chance you want to take. I've been having my driver go to the warehouse and I pick up loads when he gets there. It makes more sense to just get a CDLB. Why you say that? I think if you're going for a CDLB, you might as well just go to extra little yard and get the A just to have it. Music Fanatic. A 2014 Hino 268 with 310,000 miles, 26-foot Allison transmission is 58,000. A 2014 Hino. You on the Wayback Machine? And what year you looking in? At Music Fanatics, are you looking on the Wayback Machine? And what year you looking at? You said because they're weird. Tenfold. I get that. They just, what? A lot of people, and see, this is what I'm talking about. I think a lot of those people that are taking those cheap loads have high overhead, and they just got to take anything just to keep money flowing in. Some people just don't have the luxury to sit and wait. They jumped out the window. They got those what's it called, subprime loans on these, or prime subprime loans on these box trucks. They bought these $80,000 box trucks and they got these high ass notes, and they got high ass interest rates. You see what I'm saying? So if you sitting on a $1,700, $1,800 a month note for a truck, and I'm just keeping it funky because I do mentorship. So I ask people, a lot of people running Progressive insurance. And I usually tell people, why you got Progressive? They're the most expensive. So when people complain to me that they got Progressive, I said, well, that's the reason you spend a lot of money in insurance, because you got Progressive. When people that are entering the box truck game, do they Google search to find commercial auto insurance? The first thing that pops up is Progressive. Why? Because they're the biggest. Their search engine optimization is the best, and they're just the biggest corporate commercial. And then they allow you to handle it yourself. You can go through the process online and put your specs in, and they'll print you a certificate then and there. But you're paying a high ticket price. If you get a broker, Your broker is going to shop you on the market for the best price. And this is where a lot of people use. So now you got a person who jumped into the game in the past 12 months. They got a high note. They're paying high insurance because they're running with Progressive. And this is not a knock to anybody that's running Progressive, but I say this on live streams. I say this in videos. Stay away from Progressive. Get you an insurance broker and go get you some cheaper insurance. Progressive ain't the only game in town. They just got the biggest footprint. Because when you Google searching, they come up, and you can just do it yourself. You can't get a lot of these commercial insurance companies without a broker. Get a broker. So they paying high note, they paying high insurance. So they overhead is high. So that's where they begin. They lose in the game before they even pick up their first load. Non-CDL is way too oversaturated. I save money by putting myself through CDL school and buy a Class B truck. Yeah, I don't know when you came in, Music Finance, but yeah, we talked about that about 30 minutes ago. So yeah, I'm glad somebody else sees it the way I do. Non-CDL box trucking is way oversaturated right now. And that's just the honest to God truth. It is what it is. Nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lane that people found out about, and everybody into it now, and it is oversaturated. And it has carved out a niche within itself. So you're right. That's why when me and we were talking earlier, me and Joe, we both run fleets with final mile experience, and we both going CDL semi truck. You're right. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Maybe new authorities trying to get it along with a little inexperience on the load board. That part plays a part too. But math is math. Experience or no experience, math is math. $1.75 is $1.75 one way. $2, $1.85 is $1.85 one way. And then you coming back empty. Most of the time, people coming back empty. See, I don't like, people will sell you a dream. They'll tell you one thing, but be doing another. A lot of these guys be coming back empty, man. They running one way. So if they take a load for $2 a mile, they only really making $1. Because most of the times they coming back empty. I'm not speaking to everybody. But in most cases, and I know because I talk to these people, it depends on the area. Ontario has like 5 warehouses and like 40-mile radius. They never have loads. How you doing tonight? How you doing tonight, my guy? I was wondering, what do you think of buying Penske and Ryder used trucks? I think buying rental fleet owned and operated trucks is the best way to go if you buy a used truck. I like Penske more than Ryder, because Penske is going to give you a better rate than Ryder. Ryder is just always expensive on every aspect of their business. Oh, that's today? Oh, then the rates are going down. You can get a 2014 Hino for $45,000. Well, there you go, Sharon. If you still on the there you go. That's a steal. Because they booked them as soon as they hit the board, the biggest warehouse in San Diego, which is 95 miles from where my driver parks. I get that. But why do you think they book them? Is you think they booking it soon because they thirsty for the money, because they operating upside down? They operating in the red because the expenses is high? The other night I booked a load at 12 while my driver was there picking up at 1. The load went 105 miles, paying $754. That landed 20 miles from his home. Good job. Good job. Now let me ask you, was that on a Saturday night? Was that on MP? Was that on a Saturday night? Let me know if that was on a Friday or Saturday night. I'm willing to bet it was. Facts. No problem. Appreciate you too, man. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, it's a 338, right? That's a CDL one. The 268 is non-CDL. On a Wednesday, oh, that's good. That's good. Good for All right, they kicked me out, but I'm back. I'm back. Let me check my audio. Still good. Check. Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. On a Wednesday, you pulled 754 on 105 miles and landed your driver 20 miles from home. That's good. Last night they had loads at 1 a.m. Last night at 1 a.m. they had loads coming up, going 60 to 75 now, paying 600. California though, see California, when I be looking at the load board in California, I guess because of the situation that's going out there with AB5, I noticed like on DAT load board, like 12, 1 a.m., they just drop a lot of Amazon loads. So those were all the people that didn't show up, right? All those extra loads that they don't have a truck and a driver for, right? Coming out of San Diego. Mm, yeah. Yeah. I'll be checking out the California loads outbound at like 12, 1 in the morning, just for laughs and giggles and research and stuff. And I noticed like every night, as far as like that market, California drops the most Amazon loads. They'll drop like a bundle of Amazon loads, like 8, 9, 10 Amazons. They just drop them. That's what's up. So yeah, you in a good market for those those overnight Amazon loads right now, because I think a big part of that is due to everything that's going on out there with the shortage of drivers. I'm thinking because of the AB5 thing. I haven't really been following up on the AB5 in a few weeks, but I'm assuming a lot of those owner operators out there are still on strike, right? I would assume they're still on strike, right? All right, let me put this link up again. All right. All right. So since we got more people in the room, people who weren't here earlier, we were talking about OTR versus local. Did a poll 4 or 5 days ago, OTR versus local, which do you prefer? The results were 70. Hold on, let me pull it back up. It was like 70. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. What were the results? What were the results? I think it was results were 72 local, 28 over the road. So my question to the people who weren't here that didn't get a chance to answer, one, why do you, and you can come on, this is the link for you to come on if you want to come on, explain why do you prefer what you prefer, whether it's local or over the road? And two, does relationships play a big part of why people want to stay local? I think people want to stay local because they're worried about their significant other and the sneaky links. Is it because you don't want your significant other hooking up with the sneaky links? Talk to me. Let me know what you think. I am not sure. The container loads don't pay that well through Amazon. These are non-CDL box truck loads. Yeah, man. Inquiring minds want to know, man. Do a lot of people want to stay local, man, because they worry about what they got a girl doing back at the crib, or is it because you got kids, or because you just don't like the road, or what is it? Who likes over the road? Who likes over the road versus local? Somebody got to be in here that like OTR over local. Hey, MP, what's the farthest Amazon load you ran? Anybody, what's the farthest Amazon load y'all ran? Has anybody done a cross country? MP, you in Cali. What's the farthest you ran? You on the West Coast. Let me see. Who in here do final mile? Nobody do final mile? Everybody OTR, Amazon. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right. I guess we can look at the. Man, they keep kicking me out. All right. It's definitely the major reason why cats want to stay local. You out there on the road thinking to yourself, damn, she got the whole bed to herself. That- I guess that's one way of looking at it. Do she really got the whole bed to herself, though? That's the question. Do she really got the whole bed to herself, though? That's the question. If she is cheating, she's going to. If she is cheating, she's going to, regardless if you're local to her, people going to do what they're going to do at the end of the day. True. What about the women? There's some women in the room. This shoe work on both foot. We got some women truckers in the room. What are some expenses running a dedicated lane? I seen your early video on IKEA. Dedicated expenses? Um, different from my expenses. Running dedicated contracts is pretty much the same expenses. You got your overhead as far as your labor costs, your insurance, your fuel. Um, yeah, I was a guy who asked me a question in the comments who kind of challenged, I guess, the video as far as the account, as far as the earning potential. And he said, well, what if you're paying insurance and you're paying your truck note and you're paying this and you're paying that and you're paying this and you're that? And my response to that was, and this kind of answers your question, is just it answers your question, it kind of answers that person's question too, if he's in the chat, is everyone's situation is different. So if when he asks, what about your truck note? I don't have any truck notes. All my trucks are paid for. My insurance is not as high as the next person's because I know better than to get progressive, and I've been in the game 13, 14 years. So my broker knows how to shop 60 days before my insurance renews. My broker is shopping every year. I don't have no loyalty to nobody in business. If somebody got a cheaper rate, I'm out of there. I don't care. I got 3 different companies right now. I don't run under the same company. I got one company for general liability. I got one company for commercial auto, and I got a whole different company for cargo. You know what I'm saying? So one, my trucks is paid for, so I don't have notes. Two, my insurance is cheap. Two, here's another reason my insurance is cheap. I'm doing final mile and my routes are all local. I know how to make money locally. So I don't pay interstate prices for insurance. I pay intrastate prices for insurance. When you switch your DOT from interstate to intrastate, your insurance rates are going to drop. Now that's some more free sauce for you. That's free sauce. See, that's what the gurus ain't going to tell you all this. Now I understand this ain't going to apply to everybody because most people that run OTR, they run middle mile, they crossing state lines. Even if they consider themselves local, they running 50, 100 miles, whatever. Once you cross state lines, the DOT looks at it as interstate. You switch, if you're operating within one state, you need to switch your DOT from interstate to intrastate. And this is if you're operating in one state. You're going to save a lot more money. All right. So that goes back to say everybody's situation is different. What may work for one person may not work for another person. $3,000 on one truck to me is good money. I didn't buy a truck last year for $85,000. All right. I know better than to have progressive insurance. And I'm not saying that it's wrong with having progressive insurance, but if you don't know no better, that's why guys like me that make videos and tell you in the videos for free, like, yo, go get you a commercial broker so they can shop you. They need to be shopping you 60 days prior to renewal. I had to get progressive one time. And the one time I had to get it was because Grange dropped me. I forgot why they dropped me. I think we had maybe one or too many accidents. This was early in my career. I had Grange. Grange is another one you want to look to. They're very affordable, but you need a broker. You got to have a broker get them. Grange dropped me. They didn't drop. Well, they dropped me. So they didn't renew me. They didn't drop me. They just didn't renew me. It's a difference. Apparently, they didn't let us know until the last minute. And my broker died. He didn't have enough time to shop my company on the market. So he said, Mark, man, we ain't got enough time. The only thing you're going to have to go with progressive. He said it's going to be high, but you're going to have to deal with it for a year. And then in April, I'm going to start shopping you. We're going to get you out of progressive, but you're going to have to stick with it for a year. I spent $50,000 on progressive that year. $50,000. Now, I'm running 12, 15 trucks now. So yeah, $50,000. That was a lot of fucking money. All right. But I was forced to get progressive. All right. Mercury is what I'm using now. I use Acuity, Mercury, National Fire and Liability. That's a Berkshire Hathaway company. That's a Warren Buffett. That's his insurance company. So I use them for cargo. So I got 3 different companies. And that comes out cheap for me. So long story short is what may work for some person may not work for the next person. Your overhead expenses are your overhead expenses. The next person's overhead expenses, their overhead expenses might not be as much. $3,000 a week on a contract for one particular truck, and I'm running multiple trucks, $3,000 a week, overhead is good for me. If that truck makes $150, $200 a day, I'm fine with that. Why? Because I don't have the overhead. If my truck makes $100 a day, one truck, because I'm running multiple. If the truck makes $500 a week, okay, I'm fine with that. Something is better than nothing. I'm not trying to get it all. I know I can't get it all. I'm trying to, it's a marathon, not a race. So when I listen to these guys talk and I got to make $1,000 a day, man, that just doesn't seem realistic. We talking about gross or we talking about net here? Can you gross $1,000 a day? Yeah, but people they tend they want to net $1,000 a day, and you want to stay local. Okay, well, when you figure that out, you let me know. I mean, it's a different ball game when you operating a fleet versus you operating one vehicle. When you dealing in volume, it's a different thing. And then I can show you how to deal with leverage. That's what we talked about on the last live stream last week. Me and Joe, we talked about leverage, how we can go into logistics companies and lean on them because we got leverage. That's a whole different story. I'm gonna talk about that in a video too. Wish I had a woman that was OTR. Why you say that? Because you OTR? So you want her to be out on the road with you? Mega Man, what up? You be breaking that stuff down, bro, for real, man. I try to break it down. I try to, you know, give you the real and kind of set you up to win and not set people up for failure. If I'm gonna tell people about something, I'm just gonna give them the whole scoop. The whole scoop, man. I can't let no woman or person get in the way of my money and my peace of mind. If that's stressful, then just be single. You have to be focused out there on the road. You definitely gotta be focused out there on the road, man. Definitely gotta be focused out there on the road. But I think a lot of these young guys, man, they be worried about what's going on back at home. The young guys, man, the old guys I know that's in trucking, man, they could care less. The newer generation, man, I think they more man, they wear their heart, man. They heart, man. That's why you see these shorties out here now, man. They girl break up with them, the guy break up. Look at the thing that happened, MP. What that happened out there in was that San Diego or San Francisco? The lady who was driving 90 miles an hour and killed 6 people, and they said that was over a guy. The guy broke up with her, or she was arguing with him, so she just threw her life away. Like situations like that, man. Like, man, please, man. It ain't that serious, man. But I think when we talk about different generations, I think the newer, younger generation, they when it comes to trucking, and I could be wrong. This is just from what I see and the younger people that I talk to. They more worried about what's going on back at home. They just can't focus out there on the road and be away 4 or 5 days at a time. It ain't got necessarily always be about a woman. It could be their peers. They could be distracted about what their peers doing, different parties and things of that nature. So when you out there on the road, that need to be your main focus. That need to be your main focus. All right. All right, next topic. Let me put this link up, man. Don't nobody want to come talk tonight, man, on camera? Man, who out there working right now? It's all right, because then I'll jump off. I'll make this an early one. Hey, DeMarco, what you up to? What you running? You running Amazon? You running Final Mile? What's going on? You asked me about IKEA for my expenses. If you want to run IKEA, you just need to get you a helper. Make sure you got your 26-footer. You got all the insurances and stuff, and get to work. Just like any other contract as far as the requirements. But get to work. Your expenses is gonna be your normal. You're gonna have to pay your helper, your fuel, whatever you paying for your truck, and your insurances, all right, obviously. Other than that, that's it. Your earning potential is depending on how much you can get done. You know, how many days you want to work. IKEA, that's a 7-day-a-week contract. So it's a 7-day-a-week contract. They run trucks in the morning, and then they have another route in the evening that's 5 to 9s. The 5 to 9s aren't that many stops, obviously, because you're working within a 4-hour window. The morning route runs all day from whenever load out starts, 6 in the morning, to you run until you get all your stops done. So I say it's a good account to have as a starter because your claims are real, real low. You can't really mess IKEA up, like I said in the video. I'd rather do that than any other account. Actually, that's the account that got me started with Final Mile. That was my first account. and the earning potential for me. And I'm not saying that everyone will have that success, but for me, I was just with a company, logistics company, that had that contract that just didn't know what they was doing at the time. They didn't know what they were doing. So that's how I was able to capitalize and kind of lean on them for leverage and make sure that I always had extra trucks whenever they called me. All right, I guess we do Q&A and then I'm gonna get out of here, man. Since don't nobody want to come on tonight. Q&A session and then I'm out. Anybody got any questions? Final mile, trucking period, current events in trucking. No current events in trucking. No questions. No Q&A. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end it since don't nobody want to come on and talk tonight. Let me see. Make sure I didn't miss no questions. Hold on. Make sure I didn't miss no questions. I guess we can look at the load board real quick, and then I guess I'll get out of here. We'll look at some rates, and then I'll bounce up out of here. We're going. Do. Let's see here. Do. She's in California. MP, let's look at California. Let me share my screen real quick. Share my screen. Share my screen real quick. All right, bet. Let's see. Share screen. Share screen. Do. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me get this together real quick. Do. All right. So we're looking at California. Let's see what they got on the board. California. It's California to Texas, 1,400 miles, 1,750. That's a full load. Ontario, she mentioned Ontario earlier, the VA, 2,600 miles, 6,000 pounds, 3,400. 3,400. Would somebody take that? Would y'all take that? Would y'all take this 2,600 miles from Ontario, California, to Suffolk, Virginia for 3,400? Would y'all take that? Let's see what else we got here. That's the same one. It's a duplicate for 1,800, but it's a partial 10 foot, 1,800. I'm pretty sure somebody would take this partial 10 feet and then maybe find something else. Maybe another load or two going that way. 1,800, 10 feet, 1,500 pounds. Let me see. Another partial. California to AZ. Now, this is a good one. This is a good one. 753 miles, 8-foot partial, 2,000 pounds, $2,200. That's a good one right here. Hey, MP, you still online? I found a good one for you. I don't know where Fairfield, how far you are from Fairfield, but it's a nice partial, 753 miles, $2,200, and it's only 8 feet. Let's see. You say, look at Georgia. All right, bet. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find another good one for California. Oh, doubt is good. That's why they still sitting on here. Hell no. California to Florida, 3,100 miles, $2,500, 10-foot. It's a partial. Oh yeah. I mean, somebody who want to run cross country, you go 3,100, 10-foot partial, 500 pounds, paying 2,500. You still gonna have plenty of space on your truck. You got 2,500 going that route. All right, we're gonna do Georgia, then we're gonna go to Texas. I don't think MP on here no more, man. I found her a good one. That's a good one right here. This is a good one. It's a good partial. 753 miles, 8 feet, 2,000 pounds. It's a good one. All right. Where we going now? We're going to go Georgia. We're going to go GA. Ain't much in there for Georgia, so I'm going to let you know. 67 outbound, but it's going to drop down once I filter this to a box truck. Give me 1 second. Straight box. Let's see. Did I filter it? No, I didn't filter it. Hold on. I did filter it. What's going on? Bro, why is it not working? Hold on. Ain't shit. Nothing for Georgia. I forgot. They didn't have nothing. They go partial. 5 foot, 2,500 pounds, 2,200 miles, 2,300. I don't know why it's not filtering out all this stuff. What is it? I need my glasses. Georgia, South Carolina, 195 pounds, 2,100. It's a full load, 2,100 pounds, $400. I mean, 200 miles, $400. 10 feet, Georgia to up here, Addison, Illinois, 735 miles, $1,100. Another one, Georgia to Addison, Illinois, 735 miles, $1,100. $1,100. All right, Georgia dry, bro. Georgia is dry. What's the next one? Texas. Let's look at Texas. Let me see. Right now, California got the most. Let me look at Illinois. No, Illinois got the most right now on the board. That's what I'm saying. Whenever you come up here to Chicago, in my area, you're going to always find a load. A lot of stuff coming out of Illinois. Let me see. Texas. Up 613 coming out of Texas too. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. All right. So, all right, this was posted 3 minutes ago. 443 miles. It's a full load. I ain't got no price. So what else we looking at? 600 miles, 750. What is this? All right, this might be a good one. El Paso, Texas to Atlanta, Georgia, 1,400 miles. This is a full load, paying $38.50. I'm paying $38.50. So it's going one way. This looks like it might be a good load. 5,000 pounds, $38.50. Whoa. El Paso, Texas to College Park, 1,400 miles. 820-pound load, a light load, $5,500. Hey, Emperor, there you go. That's the win for the night right there. This one right here is the win for the night. Pick up ASAP and deliver by 8 a.m. Oh, team only. Oh, they need you to drive it straight through. That's why. That's why they need you to drive it straight through. It's late. It's running late. It's running late. That's why they need you to do it. Team only. But hey, they go the bag right here. Either one of these. Either one of these. Let me look at the specs on it. True team only. See, both of these running late. $38.50. They want you to drive it straight through. I mean, if you run a team, I'd definitely take this one going to College Park. Shit. 820 pounds? What? 5,500, 1,400 miles? Come on, man. Stop playing. Hell yeah, it's good. Yeah, that other one good too. But if I was in the air and I had to make a decision, I would go for that 5,500. Man, this the win for the night, man. This is the win for the night. That's the win for the night. That is the win for the night. I might need to go look at Illinois and see what's over up in here. All right. Pearland, Texas to Belt, Montana. 1,800 miles. It's a full load, 3,500. 1,700 miles, Texas to California. Full load, 2,200. Yeah. You go partial, 7,000 pounds. 7,000 pound partial. Amarillo, Texas to Garyburg, North Carolina. 1,500 miles, 7,000 pound, 10-foot partial, $2,800. Nah. Yeah. Let me see. Laredo, Texas to PA. 4,000 pounds, 1,700 miles, 2,700. Nah. Yeah, man. So once again, it's the win for the night. These two lows right here. These two right here for Texas. Man. Those the wins. Let's go look at Illinois. Let's look at Illinois real quick. See what's up here this way. And then I'm gonna look at Georgia. Shit, we already looked at Georgia, but hold on, we'll go back to Georgia for a second. Let me look at this real quick. Specific. Tinley Park to San Bernardino, California, 1,900 miles, 2,400. No, sir. Chicago to Josephville, Missouri, 300 miles, $900. I'll probably take that. Oh, no. No, I wouldn't take that one. Never mind. Franklin Park, Illinois to Bradford, PA, 1,500. I'll probably take this one. Chicago to Montana, 1,400 miles, 3,000. 14, 28. $889. That's a 53. It's a partial Carol Stream. The Chino. Hell no. 24 foot, 7,000. Illinois to Florida, 1,200 miles, 3,500. Probably could run that one. Yeah, ain't nothing too much on here. Too much on here. Shavonte Evans, what bundle do I have for Trucker's Edge? $39.99. $39.99. I think that's the cheapest one. That's the cheapest one. I'm gonna look at one more state. Hold on. Let's look at somebody give me a state to look at. I'll let somebody choose. I'll let somebody choose. We looked at Illinois. We looked at Cali. We looked at Georgia. What's another market that got a lot? PA. We looked at Texas. Pennsylvania. Yes, sir. All right. Straight box. Search. All right. Price. What's this? 190 for 450, 10,000 pounds. All right, PA to is that Maine or Massachusetts? 367 miles to 8,000 pounds, $1,000. I guess that ain't bad. 389 miles. PA to New Hampshire, 8,000 pounds, $1,000. These are partials. 1,400 miles, 8,000 pounds, $2,500. Ain't not looking too good. PA. Texas was the winner. I think Texas had two good lows, and I think Cali had a good one. A real good one that's sitting on the board right now. PA ain't really looking too good. These 53 footers. Yeah, let's take a look at Ohio. Let's take a look at Ohio. Ohio. Straight box. All right. All right. So Ohio to California, 2,300 miles. It's a full load, 3,500. Compared to that Atlanta load, we saw that Houston to Atlanta load for 3,500. This should, man, that should make this shit look like. What else we got? 1,200 miles for $2,700. Ohio to South Dakota. 1,000 miles for 2,300. Ohio to Florida. Ohio to Cali, 2,200 miles, full load, 26 footer, paying $29. 500 miles, Ohio to North Carolina, 582 miles, paying $1,500. Another Ohio to Massachusetts, 874 on the miles. Full load, 1,050. Ohio to Alabama, 750 miles, 1,400. That's not even paying $2 a mile. Whew. Cleveland to Hilliard, Ohio, 146 miles. This one ain't got a price yet. Ohio to Florida, 1,200 miles, 2,200. Texas and California look like the two big winners tonight as far as the load board is concerned. South Carolina. It's a load sitting in Texas right now, 5,500. From Texas to Atlanta, 5,500. And it's sitting there. And we know why it's sitting there, because they need a team to do it, because it's late. All right. What is this? South Carolina. All right. South Carolina to Oregon, 2,600 miles, partial, 7 feet, 400 pounds, $1,400. I mean, if you're going cross country, 2,600 miles, South Carolina to Oregon, you're going way cross country, because Oregon is all the way over there on the end, up west, over west. You got to be going all the way across for this partial to work for you. Other than that, ain't too much more. Got a price. Yep. Ohio did. Gonna see if that Texas one's still sitting on there, and then I'm gonna get out of this board. Let me see if it's still sitting up there. Yeah, those 53s was semi. I was looking for the 26 footers. There was a few 26 footers in there. Not many for Ohio. Not many for Ohio. We looked at Ohio Marie, but I'll run back over there if you just came in the room. I'll look back at Ohio again. But for those people that just came in the room, it's a load sitting. It's two good loads sitting in Texas right now. This one and this one. Both going from El Paso, Texas. This one going to Atlanta. This one going to College Park. Both about 1,400 miles, 1,419, 1,423. This one is 5,000 pounds, paying $3,850, right? This one, 800 pounds, 5,500. Now, for those of you like, man, damn, that's paying good, but it's for team driving, right? You got it, Rick. You got it. Team driving. Pick up ASAP and deliver on Thursday, 8 a.m. Team only. Team only. That one, true team only. So, yeah, man. Let me look at Ohio real quick again for Marie. I don't think we saw too much in Ohio. I think Ohio was dry. Yeah, it's dry. Ohio dry, but we're gonna go look at it for Marie since she requested it. Edig. All right, let's take a look. All right. You got an Ohio to Cali, 2,300, 26-foot box, 5,800 pounds, 5,200 pounds, full load, 3,500. $3,500. I definitely would leave that sitting where it's at. Yeah. What else we got? Ohio to South Dakota, 1,200, 5,000 pounds, $2,700. This is paying a little over $2 a mile. 1,000 miles for Ohio to Florida, 26 foot, 5,000 pounds, 2,300. What else we got? Ohio to California, Anaheim, 2,200, 7,000 pounds, $2,900. I'll definitely leave that one right where it's sitting. Leave that one there too with the other one. What else we got? 582 miles, 26 foot of 14,000 pounds, Ohio to North Carolina, $1,500. This one may be worth it. 582 miles, $1,500. May be worth it. The rest of these, I don't know. Nah. Ohio to Massachusetts, Boston, 874 miles, 1,050. Nah. That's a full load. Ohio to Alabama, 750 miles, 4,000 pounds, full load, 1,400. I don't know why they just couldn't make this 1,500 and just make it $2 a mile, but that would definitely be the deciding factor for me. But I guess that's why I'm still sitting there too. Ohio to Ohio, Cleveland to Hilliard, 146 miles. I ain't got no ticket on it yet. Ohio to Florida, 1,200 miles, full load, 9,000 pounds, $2,200. Let me see what's going on tomorrow. This is for tomorrow. We got one for tomorrow. Ohio to New Jersey, 428 miles, $900. This might be a good one. Let's see what else. 764 miles, Ohio to Georgia. That's a full load, $1,100. Let me see what else we got tomorrow. Ohio to Michigan. So this is really just crossing over the border, 24 miles, a full load, 24 mile. They considering a partial, but this really a full load for a 26-footer. I mean, what are you going to do 2 feet and you going 24 miles? $200. That's not even a weight. That's not even worth it. I mean, it ain't a lot. It's just not worth it. Wow. Ohio to California, 2,300 miles, 5,200 pounds, 3,500. Nope. Yeah. Ohio is dry. You said looking slim. Yeah, Ohio looking slim. Ohio ain't looking good. Ohio ain't looking good at all. That's pretty much it. We looked at the good markets. We looked at Texas. We looked at Cali. Cali had one good one. Texas had 2 good ones, but they were for a team. Everything else was looking slim. Those Amazon loads usually drop at about 1 a.m. They usually drop at about 1 a.m. on the DAT load board. Other than that, everything else was looking whack. Not even worth it. There was a few good ones mixed up here and there. All right, Q&A. Let me put this link up. Other than that, ain't no Q&A tonight. We did our talk about the topic. We talked about the topic. We talked about Amazon. Anybody want to come on and talk, there go the link. If not, then I'm going to end the live in a few minutes. If you want to come on, there go the link. I just dropped it. You just click on it and come on. Also, Q&A, any questions, any box truck questions, trucking questions, current event trucking questions, middle mile questions, final mile questions. For the people that came in late, we was talking earlier about CDL trucking. I'm gonna start doing content on CDL trucking. Since I'm going over into that lane, I'm gonna do a video on it probably later on this month, explaining why. Since Joe drug it out of me, I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but I'm gonna do a video later this month saying why I'm doing it and my game plan, and then I'm gonna document the whole process. So if anybody is looking to go into that lane, you get to see me do it and mess up and fail and try to back a semi truck in a straight line on a test, and hopefully I pass it and not stall out and all that good stuff that people go through when they going to get their CDL. All the stuff that I'm not looking forward to, but I'm gonna go ahead and go do it so I can try to expand. Any Q&A? Final mile, middle mile? Get the free sauce. Now's the time. What time is it? 10:04. I guess I'll stick on for 10 more minutes if I don't get no questions or don't nobody come on. 10 more minutes, then I'm gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. You dig? There go the link. Anybody got some topics for videos they want me to do? Any video topics? I got a collab I'm working on right now too with another YouTuber, another box truck YouTuber. I'm working on a collab with somebody. We're gonna try to set up a live stream show, and I guess we'll promote it and pump it. We just gotta set up a date and a time. No Q&A, and nobody got no questions. Nobody want to stream? What time is it? We'll be on 5 more minutes. Don't nothing come up. I'm Audi 5000. Do you have any suggestions on lowering the cost of rooms when sending drivers over the road? Yep. Get an account with Red Roof Inn and Super 8. Red Roof Inn because they're a little bit cleaner than Super 8, but get an account with Red Roof Inn and then you get a discount. You can go to their website and sign up for one. You get that I forget what they call it, but yeah, I would suggest Red Roof Inn. Only Red Roof Inn. That's what I use. Well, I used to use. We're local now, so but I used to use Red Roof Inn when I sent people over the road. Now when I do moves for my moving business over the road, I don't put people in Red Roof Inns. We try to get to where we're going, and then I'll put them in a good hotel. But OTR, I do Red Roof Inn. It's a little bit more than Super 8 and Motel 6. Some markets you can find some clean Motel 6s. You just got to kind of map it out. So the science behind Motel 6, Super 8, and Red Roof Inn is you got to kind of map them out and look at the pictures and read the reviews. You don't want to put them in one like in the middle of nowhere because them the janky ones. Them the ones with the bed bugs and all that stuff like that. If you got a driver, you know they're going through a major city, you kind of want to put them in one in the major city, or close to the major city, and kind of look at the pictures and read the reviews because they're cleaner. But Red Roof Inn, my experiences at Red Roof Inn have always been cleaner than Super 8. And I've seen some good Motel 6s, but I've never came across a good Super 8. If you can back a regular truck with a trailer, then you can back a semi-trailer, same concept. I figured that trucking with Joker because I back sometimes I pull trailers with my pickup truck, and I practice when I had a U-Haul dealership. I used to have to back trailers, and it took me a while. It took me like a good 6 months to a year to kind of really master it, but that was just me over time doing it from time to time. But I figured it was the same concept. But I appreciate you letting me know that. That just kind of reassured me and made me feel a little bit better because that's my biggest concern is when I go out to take that test, man. First of all, I can't get the WIA grant. I gotta pay. So I don't want to go and spend this bread. Like when I take that test, I want to pass it all the first time. I don't want to have to take it again and that. And then I'm worried about that stalling. Everybody I talk to said they stall out. They stall out. So I've never driven a stick. So that's the other thing that bothers me. The book stuff and all that other stuff, I'm not really too much worried about. It's just that road test, man. I don't want to be taking that test 2 and 3 times. What do you think about getting military loads, and can you find a dedicated lane doing that? I think if you own a trucking company and you're a veteran, you get all the veteran perks. You get it's different grants and things that you can get similar to like the MBE for being a veteran. And then those veteran contracts, you get first crack at them because you're a veteran. So I definitely think you can find a dedicated lane if you can if you're a veteran. Are you a veteran, Emperor? Video topics. Dive deeper with government contracts and those new to the game. Thanks for the live. I will definitely do that. Um, as far as government contracts, I gave I guess the best information on the MBE, which would um if you're going out for a government contract, the MBE would give you leverage. So I guess, like you said, I'll go more in depth on, if you do go out for an MBE, you got that leverage, and you do try to go out for a government contract, just understand what comes along with it. So yeah, I think I'll explain it more in depth that, these government contracts, they sound good, but it comes with a lot. You got to have a major um like you got to have a fleet of trucks. You got to have like it's a lot that comes with them. They just and the government ain't just. I think a lot of people because I got a lot of DMs after that about man, I got me a truck, man. How can I get a government contract? And I'm like, bro, you can't get a government contract with one truck. Tomorrow's tag auction. I'm going to try to stream tomorrow's tag auction. I know I got an appointment in the morning at 9. The tag auction is at. Hopefully, I'm out of that appointment that I got. Let's see here. Let me see. Tomorrow's tech auction is at. Hold on, I'm on the app. Let me see. I mean, we can look at what's on the market. Y'all want me to pull up the auction and see what's going for auction tomorrow? I can log in to look at the lots before, but pre-bidding, I'm not going to bid. But if y'all want to look to see what's on the market, and that way you want to get your money together and go in, I can do that now real quick. I don't have a problem doing that now. I ain't got nothing to do. The only reason I said I was going to get off because wasn't nobody talking. And everybody just, if you're sitting here looking at me, I got the knowledge and I got some resources. But it's at 3 p.m. It's at 2 p.m. my time. If y'all want me, I can go and look at the pre-auction right now to see what's going to be auctioned off tomorrow if y'all want. I know some people here looking to buy a truck. Thoughts on making money on pallet skids. I heard it's a big lane for it. I haven't really dug into it too much. That industry is kind of monopolized here in my market. But but I heard it's a good business. Nah, so then you would just have to get your MBE. I would get the MBE if you can. That will give you some leverage. And then from there, I guess you would start applying. But just know that, when you're dealing with anything that has to do with the military owned businesses always get the first crack at military accounts. So let's say if you were up for an account and I'm up for an account, we're both MBE, right? And so that gives us the leverage versus other people who don't have that minority. So okay, so 25% of this government military contract got to go to a minority. We the only two people applying, me and you. One of us got to get it. The difference is I've been in the military. I'm out on honorably discharged. I'm out, and I got this trucking company that I own now. And you got an MBE. We both got MBEs, but I'm a veteran. You not. Who you think gonna get the contract? So that's the only thing you really gotta worry about. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with like the military, like a lot of their contracts go to like vets. So, but depending on the market you're in, you may not have no competition. So I still say go for it. The road should come easy to you. After driving trucks for many years, the maneuvering on the test will be the challenge due to the fact the trailer moves opposite of the wheel when backing up. Yeah, I practice a lot with my pickup truck and like U-Haul trailers, like 6x12. So I kind of got the hang of it. The only thing that the difference between like a 6x12 U-Haul like cargo trailer and a 53 footer is the fact it's 53 feet. So I don't know. Once I get out there and training, like I'm gonna be one of those guys that like I ain't gonna be fooling around in class. I'm really gonna be paying attention. I'm really gonna be paying attention because it's very imperative that I pass that test the first go around. But yeah. Hey Joe, were you nervous when you took the test? Yeah, the auction's at 3 tomorrow. I think it's at 2 my time. But I'm gonna try to hopefully I can be in front of a computer then. Yeah, it's at 2 my time, 2 central time. Pre-bidding is at 8. Yeah, I'm gonna try to stream it. 53 footer just turned slower. Emperor, no problem, bro. Anytime. 53 foot just turned slower. Okay. I'm anxious to kind of get it started and get it over with. I should have been did it, man. I should have did it in 2017, man. Man, passing the CDL test the first time is an amazing feeling, bro. I bet, man. Shit. I want to pass it the first time. Man, I do not want to, like, I don't got the time, man. Just even going from 7 to 3:30 or 7:30 or 3:30 or whatever it is, just man, that's just like a big sacrifice for me, man. Like a lot of stuff I have to put to the side during that time to do this, but I gotta do it. I'm gonna get in there, I'm gonna study, and then I'm gonna bring content too. Because a lot of people are probably interested in it, so I might as well just um share and talk about the experience. And you know what? Since I brought that out, I guess I could share something else with y'all that I was going to probably mention later on. I'm going to probably take a couple of these 16. Hold on a second. With your moving business, are you closing it? Yeah. I'm probably gonna you know what? I'm probably gonna let it go. I'm probably gonna have to let it go because I'm probably not gonna have the time for it. But if we can turn to a weekend structure, if I end up transitioning everybody from that platform over here, then I may try to make it work on the weekend, but I may follow like how you did and just let it go temporarily, man. I had my run with it. 13 years is good. Uh we made a lot of money, and I think it's probably just time to move on. I think with the change in the industry with the gig economy, and just like these new platforms, I know every market is different, but here with Thumbtack and TaskRabbit, and even with the U-Haul, they little gig thing, like man, people are moving companies are still being hired, but not like they were. Like people are really doing it themselves, or they're really just hiring a TaskRabbit or a hire helper or a crew on Thumbtack. They're really going the gig route. They're saving a lot of money doing it that way. Of course, you're going to get the people are who own like expensive homes, and they have expensive furniture, and they have the money and the budget to hire real moving companies that are still going to pay real moving companies. But for your most part, like your young urban professional in a lot of these major cities, like they're going the U-Haul route, they're going the Thumbtack route, they're doing what young urban professionals in this time, they're using technology, they're using apps, they're going gig. It's cool to them. And then on top of that, if they're doing it themselves, what we're noticing, they're doing like moving, they're throwing moving parties. So like if one person is moving, they'll have like a bunch of their friends, they'll have like 5, 10 people come, they'll order beer and pizza, and then they'll just all help move, and they'll rent a U-Haul, and they'll just play music and just all help move while they're socializing. It's like it's weird, man. So the game has changed, and I'll probably just dissolve the moving company, and just scale over to the trucking. Because you can work with a van line and do moving. What's your thoughts? You know what? That's what Asian Mai does. I think he does van line. He runs his semi through one of those van line companies. With the van line, I have to do the research on it. If we're running through a van line, I need to research to see, do I have to hire a staff to do the loading, even though I still have those guys, or are with the van line moving company, is it just a team loading, a local team loading, and then my company would run the freight cross country, and then another team would unload there that the van line was sent? I would have to do the research. You got the info on the van lines. I'm not really familiar with the van lines. But if I can find a lane in the van lines doing the moving, I would look into that route. I would look into that. I would definitely look into that. But that was something I would have to talk to you about, because you got the see that you got that's your lane. You did it. So, but I would definitely consider it. I would definitely consider it. You can do local, you can do both local and OTR with van line. Some van line agents also take on new drivers. I actually had a new CDL driver working for me. I think you may like it. I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna look into it. Once I get through this first phase of this test, and then I'm gonna sit and just weigh out all my options on how I want to go into this lane. Um I actually had a new CL driver working for me. I think you may like it. You can do both local and OTR van line. Yeah, but what's the cost with a van line? Like you got to pay the marketing cost. How much is the marketing cost? Is it high? Like 2 million a truck? I heard like 2 million a truck is high, but I know 2 million a truck and a van line. But what's the van lines? The marketing cost? It's like 10%, 7%, 8%. What is it? And with that marketing cost, do they funnel you from like that corporate? Do they funnel you to work as an agent, or how does it work? I'm going local. I can't go out of state. I got responsibilities here. I wouldn't be able to go, so I'm gonna go local. No marketing cost. So what's the there's no franchise fee or nothing? You get paid 60% of revenue. So they do all the inbound calling and then they just whatever market that person is moving from the point A market, they just funnel that stuff to you if you're that local agent. Is that how it works? 60%, man. Man, that's man. So operating costs is 60%. So a $10,000 job, they would take four and I would take six. And I would still have to pay for my labor, my fuel, my trucks, maintenance, insurance. And I'm receiving 60% off all jobs. You don't think that's kind of high? I'm just asking from your experience because you ran a van line company before. So, like, how did you make out? Were you getting over? Were you making out over? Were you green or were you in the black rather? Like, and then with that 60%, what were your margins within that 60%? Like, what did you get out of it? 60% seemed like for them taking 40% seemed like a lot. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm gonna call it one early tonight. I'm gonna let Joe answer this, and I'm probably gonna go ahead and get out. Get out of here. Then I gotta buy the trucks, right? And then I gotta put their marketing on them. Then I gotta pay for their market. I gotta pay to get the trucks wrapped with all the van line marketing. Average gross is about 250 a year. I was bringing home about 8% after paying everything. All right, let's see here. Hmm. That's per truck. You bring home about 8%. How many trucks were you running? I just need to know what it's going to take, how much it's going to, what all it's going to take to make this, if I were to do it, to make it make sense. Wait, let me see my glasses on. Yeah, it's 250. So I would be thinking you would have to be running at least 5 trucks to make it make sense for you, right? Oh, you had semi 12% off local and 6% OTR. And you owned all the equipment, right? You owned all the equipment. How's the equipment where you bring in your own equipment, right? I always wonder how van lines work. I never really looked into them because, to be honest with you, you're like the only first, like you're the only first of all, you're the only African American person I've seen that owned a van line. And two, you the youngest person I've seen that ever owned a van line. Usually when I see van line companies and van line owners, these van line moving companies are passed down from generation to generation, and they're usually old guys, very old. Like the new generation, even my generation, we didn't look at when we looked at moving, we didn't look at van lines. We started like the way two men in a truck started. We looked at it that way. The old school way of doing it, like in the 80s and the 70s to get into the moving game, most of those people that got into the game then, the van line was their point of entry. I remember every time I moved when we were a kid, we used companies that were van line companies. And that was local. But that's all you had to offer back in the 80s and the early 90s. I had 6 local, 26-foot, and 1 semi that did OTR and local. I rented from the van line. I didn't have any maintenance. Oh, so you rented from them too. So that your margins was really okay. So 6 local, 26-foot. So basically, and then so how does the because you so how does the authority work? Your own authority. How does that work? And then I'm not gonna bother you no more. It's my last question for the night. Because I could sit up here and ask you a million questions because I'm want to know. I was always curious about it, that lane. And see, this is what networking is, guys. Whenever you curious about something, you see somebody that has that's done something or has a knowledge base around it, man, ask questions, man. I didn't own the van. I didn't, okay. I was a contractor for one and made a business model out of the opportunity. I had to work under their authority. So you created a own business model that you presented to them. This isn't an option that they have or have structured for an entrepreneur. This is something that you came up with. You you came up with and you went in there and presented it to them and they rolled with it, or is this something, or is this a an option or business structure that they offer for people looking to enter into the van line moving business? Knowing you from the conversation I had with you last week, this is probably something that you came up with, and a business idea you came up with it, and you presented it to them, and they went along with it. So you was grossing about 1.5. You said you was running what, 6 trucks? Wait, no, average gross was per truck was like 250 a year, right? Right. So you was making about 1.5. They normally only do owner operator, and I turned it into a business opportunity by hiring my own owner. Ah, so then that's why your margins were 8%. But even still, that's kind of, well, yeah, because I'm operating at 20%. I'm operating at 20%. So yeah. So basically you just created a stream of revenue um without without any. So basically, what you did was you created a stream of revenue without any, and correct me if I'm wrong, without any upfront cost. You use someone else's equipment. You use the owner's operator. You use the owner operator's equipment, their authority, their labor, and basically did everything that the owner operator could have did themselves. And the owner operator gave you 8%. Correct me if I'm wrong, because that's what it sounds like you did. You pretty much outsmarted the owner operator at his own business and just got him to pay you pretty much for, I don't want to say doing nothing, but what exactly did you do? You didn't have any cost up front. So right. But see, so the way you saying it, this I get it. But with me, I had to buy all my equipment. I bought all my trucks. I bought, I knew it. Correct. That's what I did. You outsmarted them. And you see, I'm smart. I mean, you explained it real technical, but that's why I said it sounded like you just outsmarted this guy. And I didn't want to sound harsh or rude, but that's what you did. Hey, 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 congratulations to you, man. That's all I can say about that, man. Congratulations to you. You created a stream of revenue with no cost, got 8% of 1.5 million by just going there and talking to a guy and made him feel like he needed you for something that he didn't need you for, that he could have did himself. Congratulations to you, man. I need to take a note out of that book, man, because yeah, I need to find somebody I can just say, hey man, let me advise you for 8% of your business. But man, congratulations to you, man. That's what's up, man. That's dope, man. That's dope. But with the final mile business, you don't you're operating the same way. So you have an owner operator that has his own staff, his own trucks, his own authority, and you're just doing the same thing on the final mile side too. Uh, and let me ask you, he didn't know how to recruit because he was naive to recruiting from a certain demographic. And when we talking about certain different demographic, me and you know what we're talking about because we're in the moving business. Is that the reason? And you just went to that demographic, or what? And when we're talking demographic, we're not talking about race or color. We're talking about what I did a video on the other day. Is that what it was? He thought he was going to get like college yuppies to come in there and move his furniture. People with college degrees. Is that what he was targeting? And you had to come in and say, nah. Man, he got the van line. He got the van line. He got the equipment. He got everything set up. How did he not know how to recruit? You got a whole business model that the van line is doing all the marketing, all the campaigning for you. They're bringing you all the work. The only thing you got to do is hire and perform the job duty. You don't have to worry about none of the back end stuff as far as um, finding work. Those marketing dollars for that $1 million, multi-million dollar van line company is sending you all the work you need. For Final Mile trucks working for me now and doing owner operator program, the goal is to have 100% owner operators. Right? You told me that last week. You told me that last week. You told me that last week. I think that's the way to go if you're gonna do in the box trucking. I think my way of doing it, my way that I've done it over the years, I think it's damn near out of there. Like you got it correct. Like you got to operate with the account, and then you have to broker. Um, you got to broker that off to the owner operators with their own trucks, so you can still run a fleet of trucks, but you don't own any of the trucks. Right now, hold on with the final mile. With the owner operators, now are these owner operators, these vehicles, are they running under your authority, or each owner operator is operating under their own authority with the account? So what I'm asking you is, you get the account. Let's say you get IKEA with NAL Group. They're gonna want you're the account holder, right? They're gonna want your authority, but you're on boarding with three trucks, and each of the three trucks is their own owner operator, right? So these are just owner operators that are running under your authority for final mile. Is that how you're doing it? I think that's the business model to go with, because man, no one is just gonna come work for you on a W-2 and just do that no more. Like that game is played now. Right. Okay. And then what you running them on, you giving them 80%, 80-20? It's an 80-20 split. Oh, excuse me. I tried that business model years ago, maybe like 15, with one of my guys under 80-20 split. You said 80-20 split. After he answered this question, guys, anybody else got any questions? If not, then I'm gonna go ahead and end the live after he answered this question for me. I'm not doing 7-hour live tonight. Stay on as long as there's questions, but if ain't no questions, I ain't doing the dead time tonight. Whoa, you pay him 900 a day? Right, you told me you can't tell me the contract. I'm assuming, and I know you can't tell me, but if you paying them $900 a day, I'm assuming this is one or two contracts. This is either maybe three. Nah, I want to say Wayfair, but Wayfair, I don't think you. It's either Home Depot or Lowe's. It's either Home Depot or Lowe's. Home Depot, Lowe's, or Best Buy. I don't think Wayfair you're gonna pay out that much. It be if you paying them and then you got to take a cut. That's good for a contractor, especially if you on a split with them. And people say, man, final mile, like middle mile is better than final mile. I think the earning potential in final mile is way better than middle mile. For me personally, to each his own. Everybody got their own preference, but to me, final mile is way better than middle mile. You local, you guys are home every day. You don't have to worry about all that whining and complaining. Yeah, you gotta lift a little bit, but So be it. It's a good workout. It's better than, to me, it's just better. Joe, yeah. But you do final mile though. You just have a preference in what type of freight you deliver. And I don't blame you. It's easier trying to deal with a couch that's 93 inches, trying to squeeze that into something than a refrigerator where you got to take the doors off the refrigerator. You got to take the doors off the house. You got to put the doors back on. Then if it's a refrigerator with an ice maker, you got to go up under the refrigerator. You got to disconnect the hose, right? You got to take unscrew the wires, the ground wire, you know, all that, man. That's just tedious, tedious, tedious. So yeah, I don't blame you. I don't think anybody likes appliances. I don't, you know. We don't touch appliances unless it's a customer hire. As far as contract wise, a customer hire, we do exercise equipment, and that was something I wanted to touch on tonight too on the live stream, but the time kind of got away. But I guess I'll save it for next week. Um, Contracts that you can get without going through a logistics company. I know I spoke on it on a video maybe about 3 months ago, and people wanted me to give these accounts or these companies away, but um, I guess I'll touch on that next on next week's live. I guess I'll touch on that on next week's live. But I like doing um fitness equipment. If it was a choice between fitness equipment and appliances, fitness equipment all day long. All day long. Treadmills, some of them treadmills a little bit heavier, but man, I know they're going straight through the doorway. You ain't gotta take nothing off, and you can strap them. Going downstairs, it may be a little bit more difficult, but yeah. Hey Joe, I appreciate you for answering all those questions for me about the van lines, man. You gave me a lot of insight on the van line so that when I get to um, that, since I do got the moving experience, if I want to do van lines, that is something for me to definitely look into. So I appreciate that. If anybody else doesn't have any questions, I'm gonna go ahead and retire for the evening, and then I'll plan on doing another live next Tuesday. I'll just keep them going on Tuesdays. I ain't gonna promote them because the turnout turns out pretty good anyway. What else got coming up? I don't touch pool tables. The last pool table I sent the crew to do, they called me, they complained, and they got the pool table on the truck for the move out, and then what it was this pool table, the customer had it built. They bought this billiard pool table, and they had it in this guy was a bachelor pad. He had sit in the middle of his living room in a high rise downtown Chicago. For whatever reason, he was moving, but wherever he was moving to, he couldn't take the pool table. So he said, man, I'm hiring a moving company, you guys, to come move it out, and I don't care what you do it. So now this is a billiard pool table, slate, concrete slate, expensive pool table. So I'm like, well, skip it. We'll figure out something to do with it. So I sent my crew to get it. They had a hard time getting it. They got it on the truck. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. When I saw how heavy it was, I'm like, man, how did you do it? So the place we ended up selling it to, he wanted it in the basement, right? It was hell in a handbasket to get that thing down into the basement. We had to take it apart. So we just dealing with the slate now. The slate of the pool table. This thing, I don't know, weigh 1,000 pounds. Now a slate table is, I think it's concrete slate under that felt. And it's going down to a basement. It was tight, man. And we got it down there. Long story short, this is somebody I know. The pool table was so hectic and so heavy that the house caught on fire. And when the restoration people came and threw everything out, they couldn't get the pool table out. So it was one of those situations where you can get something in, We got it in because we were going down, but they couldn't get it out. So they had to leave the pool table down there and restore the house around the pool table. So I don't deal with pool tables no more. I don't send people to do pianos no more. I got tired of hearing the complaints from my guys about pianos. So pool tables, pianos. We do appliances if it's directly through the customer because we charging a premium. So if a person hires a moving company to come move a refrigerator from point A to point B, I'm charging them $100 an hour, 2 hour minimum, and $150 truck fee. So straight out the gate, they at $350 versus you doing a Lowe's or a Home Depot contract and you getting paid $85 a stop or whatever the rate that you negotiate. So out the door, I'm looking at $350. Then it's fine, you know what I'm saying? But contractually, no. So no appliances as far as washers, dryers, refrigerators contractually. I don't touch pool tables anymore. And I don't touch um um what else were we talking about? Pool tables and pianos. I bet he does because it's a lane for pool tables. Like the people here, like even here, if you do pool tables, it's just pool table movers. So they invest in the pool table dollies. The same thing. People pretty much people who move. So it's a lane. I know here's I don't know about anywhere else, but here you got professional moving companies or people who do this. The only thing they move are pool tables, pianos, and safes. That's it. They don't move furniture. They don't move appliances. They move pianos, pool tables, and safes, and they charge a bag. So he not lying. He not lying. When you go to them, and usually when people call us and ask us to move a piano, we'll touch the upright pianos, the light upright pianos. I'll send the crew to move those, and I'll charge a premium because those ain't that bad. But if it's a player piano, a grand piano, a baby grand piano, a player piano, no, we don't touch them. I'll do a specific types of uprights, but other than that, nah. But yeah, most you right. The people who do pool tables, especially if they doing pool tables, safes, like those big gun safes, and um pool tables, gun safes, and pianos, man, they checking the bag. Man, they ain't doing nothing for under a G. Under a G. Under a G. I seen a dude come with a pool table. He broke him and one other dude. They broke a baby grand down. They broke it down. Cause we did the move for this customer. It was a move. This dude had like a mansion. It took like 4 days to move him. We moved him from one side of town. Well, actually, we went from one side. We moved him from one zip code to the next. It wasn't that far. But he had a big 3-story mansion and vintage home, and he'd been living there 30, 40 years. He had a bunch of shit. Took about 4 days. I didn't touch the piano. I said, I don't want the liability. I don't want to touch it. He said, don't worry about it. I got a guy that moves the piano for me all the time. Man, this dude came. It was a baby grand. Man, they broke this thing down. They had equipment I've never seen before. And he said, all we do is piano safes and pool tables. I don't touch them. Skip that, man. Too much liability. And then all it takes is one guy to get injured, and now that guy's down. You know, I'm straight. And these people be wanting these pianos. I had somebody who wanted a piano in the basement. I had somebody who wanted a piano on the third floor. It was walk up. And it can be done, but I prefer not to do it. All right. Once again, Joe, I appreciate you answering the questions. I guess, possibly got another live stream coming up with another YouTuber that's in the box truck game. We working on something. I guess I'll come back on next Tuesday. I'll do the Tuesday thing at 7, 8. If anybody ain't got no other questions, I appreciate y'all coming out. I'm out.